Welcome to another episode of Bussin With The Boys. This is episode 326 featuring Coach Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Before we jump into Coach LaFleur, here's our run of show. The boys dive deep into the NFL draft, what took place. Delanie Walker surprises us, comes on the bus. So we're talking Shedeur Sanders, we're talking Cam Ward, we're talking all things that happened at the NFL draft. A fun little intro with Delanie Walker. We also talk about 100 humans versus one gorilla. We dive into a multitude of things. You guys are going to enjoy this episode. And then on the back end, we have head coach Matt LaFleur. Whatever you're doing right now, you can support the boys by simply subscribing to our channel. Whether you're in the weight room right now, getting a pump and listen to the boys, whether you're at work with a little AirPod in one ear and listening to your boss at the other, or you're just at school, at home, messing around, whatever you're doing, if you're watching the boys, make sure you are subscribed to our channel on all platforms. And also, if you want to support the boys and also wear our merch, Girl Dad's hat like this, we have shirts, we have pants, we have everything in between, bwtb.com. That's how you can support the boys. That's how you can be for the boys. And also, before we get into this episode, shout out Bert Kreischer. Lucky, his special is out on Netflix. Did I miss anything, Mitch? Nope. Let's have a hell of an interview. Let's have a hell of a podcast. And you please have a hell of a week.
All right, we're good.
Be like, Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Welcome to another episode of Bussin' With The Boys. We are presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. We're going to be covering all things draft, diving into all of those fun headlines and details. Before we do, FanDuel is the first sportsbook app where you can bet the Kentucky Derby. That is coming up this weekend. And right now, all customers can get a no-sweat Derby bet. That means you'll get racing bonus back. You'll get racing bonus back.
Basically,
you'll get a racing bonus bet back if your bet doesn't win.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yes. Do you want to say it again? Because I was kind of talking over you a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there's the racing no sweat Derby bet. You bet the no sweat Derby bet. You put your little token in that thing. Your bet does not win. You'll get your racing bonus bet back in a credit.
Yeah.
So you go, you play, your pony doesn't win. Guess what? A lot of ponies out there. Bet back.
You get the bet back. Boom. The app is super easy to use, and you don't have to be a horse racing expert to get in on the Derby Day action. On FanDuel, you can watch and bet the race live, scoop great promotions every day, and get paid instantly when you win. So bet America's #1 race with America's #1 sportsbook. Just visit FanDuel.com/bussin for your chance to get a no-sweat bet for the Kentucky Derby. That's FanDuel.com/bussin. Before the episode, our boy Sherm, our producer in the back, he tossed around a cup with names in it. We did a draw for which horse we're going to be riding with. We want to go around and shout out our horse. I heard I have a veteran.
You do.
The horse that I drew was Final Gambit, a year 10 horse. Seems like he's a vet. I don't know a whole lot about Final Gambit.
Let me tell you, if your horse is a year 10 vet, you might as well send him to the factory because he's not going to win shit. They got 10 years for a racing horse is crazy.
From my understanding, that's a breeder. That's when you breed.
That's when you breed if they've done anything.
Start breeding.
If they haven't, you just put them out the stable, but hey, buddy, you gave us a long, hard life. Obviously, you cost a shitload. Yeah. My horse, a 3-year-old colt, hard in the game, middle of the pack type of guy right now, ready to make his name big in the Kentucky Derby. That is Owen Almighty. Let's give him a round of applause. It's only my horse. You guys actually don't have to. You don't have to clap. You don't have to clap for my horse. But love the juice. Love having it. Owen Almighty. Look at the muscular structure on this boy right here. Okay, a lot of horses you're going to catch in this type of pose right now, you're not going to see a lot of muscle. You want the kind of those arms curled up a little bit. That's where you're going to catch the horse's bicep. I don't know if they actually have biceps or not. But this horse right here, and he's rocking number 7 right there in that photo.
Respect the sevens.
A lot of opportunity out there. A lot of opportunity for Owen Almighty. I will be sprinkling, a.k.a. dusting, a.k.a. powdering a bet on that boy.
A no sweat derby bet.
Yeah, I'll be doing that and then bags. Putting bags on him.
What'd y'all draw? Let's shout out some more of these fantastic horses.
I got a Luxor Cafe. Sounds like a restaurant. Means he's going to be eating out there.
Okay, man.
Yeah. Nice.
Let's go. I got Rodriguez, a.k.a. Speedy Rodriguez. Can't lose.
Yeah.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Benny and the Jets.
Come on.
Covering it all.
I got my favorite name in the whole field. I got the Flying Mohawk,
The best name.
who is jockeyed by somebody with the exact same name as me, Joseph.
Really?
So I'm liking. We already have good team chemistry.
Right.
Good draw.
And we might have to open up a joint bank account. Once
I
we
have
get
to
the
look at
win.
this horse's bloodline a little bit. Sounds like cultural appropriation. That's okay, though. Dope name.
A lot of great things. I won't actually.
Come on, craft.
Attaboy. Hey, that is a top 10 awareness right there, JP.
We're going to keep this one clean. I have American Promise. That's all you need to know.
All you need to know.
Promise you he's going to be up front. Promise you want to ride with this guy. Stealing JP's quote earlier. No pun intended.
Very nice. The boys are all dialed in, and then Will's got a 10-year-old grandpa, I guess, that he's riding with.
He might be a savage. He might be a savage.
Do horse ears? Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Is it dog ears and horse ears? Do they have their own thing?
My understanding of
question.
horses is mostly in the Western world. It would not have anything to do with thoroughbreds. These are all thoroughbreds. The prime of your horse is like 2 to 4. That's when you're getting your horse. That's when they're in those
Can we
young
look up
20s.
the age of Final Gambit? How long he's been racing?
I bet you he's a 3-year-old colt.
Final. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. It might be final
He
for
changed
him.
his name this year.
Be
Final
wary
Gambit.
of the old horse in a game where,
We saw that at Oregon.
yeah, and the horse died. The
Yeah,
horse was dead.
Final Gambit is 3 years old.
Oh,
Okay, there
Yeah,
we go.
they're
He's in
all-
the prime
they're-
of his life.
they're all
He's in the
gonna-
prime of his
They're
life.
all going to be there.
Hey,
They're all going to be in that range.
You know what's funny? Like, you look at the muscular build on these horses. Yesterday, I was scrolling around looking at those red light therapy beds. By the way, those things cost so much money. It's
140,000.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
What we need to do, I hate cutting you off, 10X. We need to get with them in Miami. We need to start
maybe
working with them boys. Get a couple beds in this house.
Yeah, we need a plug for something like
Big
that.
time.
But as I was scrolling through, I saw that there are these like red light therapy outfits for horses. Like the way they take care of these horses these days is insane.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there looking at the horse and it's got a full thing on top of it, red light therapy, to where it's covering the entire horse's body. It's hilarious.
That's wild.
like for a horse.
Yeah. And it's probably only for racing horses.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have some for dogs right now. You know how people care about their dogs, getting them in the red light.
I saw something, I don't know if this is real, but I've always seen something like for $250,000 you can actually clone a dog. And the only way I know that is because Talon sent me one time referring to her dog Akira, and I said no. I mean,
we need to
Akira's a
ban
good
that.
dog.
If that's real,
Yeah,
we need
you
to
can't
ban
have
that.
Can't have that.
Cloning your dog?
I guess so.
I mean,
That's what makes a dog so special. It's like you have that one bond with that dog.
Right.
I don't care if it's a clone or like you're never going to be able to recreate that.
And anytime
This is gonna
in
be-
any movie you ever see somebody trying to play God, it never works.
Right.
this is going to
So-
be a very stupid question.
Wait,
Very stupid.
We're all
For the
about stupid
for all
stuff
the
on this.
listeners out there, you guys, before you push send on the comment, this is going to be a very stupid question. If you're cloning a dog, are you getting its same brain?
Hey, that's not a dumb question.
Because if that answer is no, well, I'm just thinking you get a chocolate lab, you just get another chocolate lab from that same breeder. Like it's going to look the same. It's
that's
like
a bad example because
you
most
look at Kirk
labs are
Herbstreit-
kind of all the same.
You look at Kirk Herbstreit's the labs that he's got, you just it's the rinse and
Yeah,
repeat.
his
Like you have
retrievers.
clone of that dog.
We're already doing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why you got? You're
called
spending,
breeding.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
spending
yeah.
$250,000. You could have bought that dog in between like 1 to 5.
Yeah, Kirk Herbstreit. I don't know what breeder he's going to for his retrievers, but those are good-looking dogs.
Yeah,
The
great
one he
looking
had
dogs.
at Notre Dame back in January, that dog was bow-legged and athletic. You could just tell he was ready to rock.
Yeah,
The one that passed was Ben. Now he's got what, Henry or something with him?
Something like that. Something like that. But yeah, the Kentucky Derby. You can bet at FanDuel. It's going to be an outstanding time. We all got horses. We're all going to place our bets on our horses.
no sweat
Great
derby
idea.
bet.
Great idea by Sherm. Great idea by Sherm. The boys, let's give a round of applause for Spring Tour. We finally concluded. It was an amazing time. For those of you who haven't seen, we went to Oregon. We did a bunch of stuff there. We went to Michigan. We did the draft this past weekend, and we also did Nebraska. Those will be two separate vlogs, correct?
Yeah,
JP?
check out the
Correct.
vlogs. You haven't
Yeah,
seen the
and those
Oregon and
those
Michigan
been
one.
widely accepted. Will said this: we have the blueprint for what we want our spring tours to look like from here on out. We have it. Like, the access and the ability to keep the locker room alive is basically a core value of Bussin' With The Boys. And we had the ability to do that with not only the schools we went to, but Oregon, a school that has essentially no affiliation with us, allowed us to be in there like we were players. Talking to the team, lifting weights with the boys, getting out at practice, coaching the cats up a little bit, having a good time. That's the kind of shit that's like, I said this in a pod a couple of weeks ago, right after Oregon, but Will and I are sitting in a hot tub. I'm just thinking to myself, yo, this is it. We've officially achieved the goal of keeping the things you love about football alive. And here we are. Will's in his mid 30s. I'm, young 30s, and we're eating it, having a good time with it, man. So with that said, there's always a competition. What was everybody's favorite?
It's a competition?
Well, you always are comparing. I guess there's always comparison, not competition.
Yeah.
We'll go. Do you want to go first? Or do you want to let the boys?
Well, I mean, my top one's always going to be Nebraska. You know what I mean? Like, I think when looking at the spring tour, the blueprint that you're referring to, it's going off of what we got to do in Oregon. You get in these schools, the schools that we choose next year, which, by the way, if you guys are watching and able to comment on YouTube, let the boys know where we should look to go next year, even this fall when we go to games. There's a couple we have locked in, but we're wide open to ideas. But with the spring tour approaching it next year, I think it's the formula we used at Oregon to where you're in the mix of the competitive part of the spring. Whereas at Michigan, we were there the week of the spring game. So guys are kind of not like fizzling out, but it's just like it's the end of spring ball. You're kind of in
they're in a recovery process.
You're in
to get ready for
celebratory
a spring
mode. We
game.
got finals next week. What are we going to do for the month of May when we have some off time? So everybody's like feeling good about that. And then at Nebraska, we were there for the spring day, the spring game, whatever you want, the scrimmage and events and everything else. But the formula to use is what we did at Oregon, where you're in the competitive part of the spring ball, where you get to sit in meetings, you get to see the curiosity of the players, the competitiveness of players, and getting to do all that where you're working out with the team, you're at practice, seeing the bullets flying, seeing guys actually competing for jobs.
Yeah.
I think that was the formula. That's the formula to kind of use.
That's what you want.
Because we've kind of done the spring game stuff. We've done the get interviews. We kind of got away from interviews. Not like fully got away. Like we do an interview or two each spot.
We did
went
Lanning
to.
and Marcus this year.
Yeah, but the whole focus wasn't interviewing guys that are at the school and around interviews and doing a live show and everything else. It was more about the football side of everything, showing everybody like what the athletes go through on a day-to-day basis. And I think we accomplished that. That was an A+ at Oregon. So that's why I love that formula that we did at Oregon the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we're doing like rankings, like are we talking facilities? It's like nobody's touching the Nebraska.
I don't think anybody touches Nebraska right now. I think they have the best facilities out there. We got in the conversation of, is this too big? You
have so much. It's truly like a state-of-the-art building. It is insane.
It's insane.
And I loved our facilities when I played there, but what they have now at Nebraska is truly fucking incredible.
What I love is the access points, like how everything kind of, the way things running together. Like you can be in the locker room and you can go out the right side and you can be in the equipment room, the players lounge, that area. And then the weight room is right there as well. If you go out the left side, that's all your recovery stuff. So you have that little car wash area. I think the boys took a couple photos, posted it on Twitter, of where you get in. It's like a horseshoe. You can walk around in the cold tub, which, by the way, if you sit in a cold tub and you don't move, eventually you're going to numb up. When you're walking through, it changes the game. You turn that corner, you're trying to walk slow. It fucking hurts. It hurts. But you got the hot tubs right next to that. They have a great sauna set up. They got the red light therapy set up.
The bag man is here.
Oh,
The bag man is here. Yes! The bag man.
Give me one more.
Oh.
get on!
Take a seat, man.
Hey, I knew something was up when JP was checking that mic before we sat down.
Yeah. What's happening?
We were just recapping the spring
This
tour.
man,
I know, man.
for
Y'all
those of
killed
you,
the spring tour.
for
Y'all
those of you
killed
who are wondering why Delanie is so happy right now, he is
I think
happy
people know.
about somebody's downfall. He's happy
Well,
about.
no.
We were at Nebraska, and even because it was concluded the draft or whatever, and people were like, "Hey, Delanie won that bet, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he You not only won the bet, you were spot on.
Spot on.
I told you I graded him. I go by 5 stages.
Don't even give away your stages.
I'm not gonna give them away.
Yeah.
And I wanted to come on here because I wanted to say Shedeur is a hell of a quarterback. Hell of a quarterback. I think he's gonna be a sleeper because he fell so late. He's gonna show up, right? I believe in that. I believe in the late round draft picks that they're gonna be great. He's got something to prove.
You were one.
I was one.
Yeah.
So,
Were you fifth, sixth?
I was 6.
Sixth round.
I was 6. So for that to happen, even though it was hurting my heart when I was sitting there and I'm like, damn, I'm right. I know I'm right. And then when it started happening, I kind of felt bad because I didn't really want to see the kid
Right.
I know, bro.
fall like that.
That
You
is
know what I'm
tough.
saying? It
That
was
is
tough.
a lot of those issues are self-induced.
Yeah.
A lot of those problems are self-induced when you go to the combine, because a lot of people were breaking down like how the Manning's process was versus how Shedeur and Deion's process was, and it just is way different. It was a way different time. There's not social media. No players had cameras following them around, so you had a lot more access to see Shedeur's attitude the entire time.
Yeah.
He hated himself at the combine. Like, I get it. I know a couple people talk about code switching and all that, but if you're at the combine, your hat's like this, talking about my product, I've done it year after year, like I'm him, blah, blah,
And
blah.
if you don't want to change the franchise, don't get me.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's one of the stages. Personality. What's your personality like?
And for people tuning in and don't fully know what we're talking about, Mitch, you can just run the clip of the bet, the $1,000 bet that we had with Delanie.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get going, you got to hear this bet.
Yeah.
So I come in and he's just talking nonsense. About
Always.
Shedeur Sanders not going to get drafted in the first round because he probably saw a tweet that said a couple scouts doesn't have him as a first round grade.
That sounds like the
And I graded him.
Our bet, 1,000. You graded him.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What do you know about quarterback? Nothing. $1,000 bet.
This dude.
$1,000 bet that he goes in the top 2 rounds. If he goes beyond that, Delanie wins.
What you think of that bet?
I think you're going to lose $1,000.
You crazy.
He said Shedeur is going to slip to the 5th round. Mark my words.
But this is an offensive line draft this year. A lot of O-line going to go. That's going to push
Offensive
a lot.
line draft every year, bro.
No,
He's going to find his way into that first round. And you lost $1,000.
He's a good quarterback.
He not
Shedeur
going in
is
the
a good
He
quarterback.
not going in the
Give him a
first
chance to take the
round.
bet back.
I ain't taking
No,
it back.
no.
I
He's
ain't
locked
taking
in
it
on
back.
We shook. He was so confident we shook twice on that bet.
Oh, shit.
Twice. He not going in the first round.
Not only did Delanie
That
say,
will have with Delanie.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it was everybody.
Everybody
Everybody was like, yo,
100%.
Delanie, you're an idiot, bro.
Hey, I really thought you were on crack.
Yeah.
I thought there was no
So
fucking
many
way.
people did, bro. I was having people running up to me at the draft for the Titans, so I'm up there. They like, you about to lose the bet to Will. I'm sitting there like, bruh. Right now, bro?
They don't know about your 5 stages.
I'm like, want to make a bet? I'm telling cats, y'all want to bet? They like, I'm in on it. I'm like 1,000. They're like, oh, not 1,000. I'm like, 1,000 is all I'm doing. If you're not doing $1,000, I ain't taking the bet.
But not only did he the $1,000 bet for if he got drafted in the top 2 rounds, I win. If he falls out the second, you win the $1,000. Not only did you win that bet, but you called the round. That
I
he was
called
going.
around. I told you, bro.
I mean, bro, that's impressive.
In January.
In January,
Yeah.
people thinking they
This
think
is what
it's
people are
cap.
saying he's the first
They
overall
saying
pick.
that is fake. They like, oh, they posted that after it happened. Like everyone think that we did not post that was posted like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They don't believe we did that in January.
I mean, they can just go back and watch the locker
That's
room.
what I said. I said, go watch the locker room. Like, it's an episode. I don't remember what episode, but go watch the locker room.
Right. But it was in January when you said that. And
Yeah.
legit, bro, I was like, that's the easiest money Will's ever made.
Yeah, everybody thought that, you know what I mean? Cats, I would even see Cats was hitting me like, man, I can't believe you made that bet. You know, dude going in the first round. His dad is Deion Sanders. I said, this is not the NBA. It doesn't matter who your daddy is.
Crazy shot at Bronny.
That is a wild shot.
Not a shot, just facts. just facts.
So
you know what I'm saying?
you got his
Just
money?
facts.
I don't have it on me.
You got it
I'll
on you?
get it.
This was a surprise. If y'all watching this right now, he didn't know I was coming, so it was a surprise. But yeah, he will pay up. Will is good for his money. I've never lost a bet to Will, and I've always been paid. And I said that in the show. I never lose to Will Compton. It's just a fact. Just like he said, he guarded me.
We can't,
that didn't happen.
Right now, there's no fact checking that.
What?
Like losing a bet to me. I can't think of any bets the amount of bets that we had. What else have we bet on that you beat me?
Is he crazy right now?
He didn't know the 5 stages.
He don't know.
He don't know.
What are the bets y'all make?
I don't know. He said,
What
I've
other
never
bets
lost a
have
bet.
we made? Didn't you pay me $500 Mitch, didn't I pay you $500?
Yeah, but that money was from Will.
Will,
Yeah, because you guys made a bet about something.
Was it
On the locker room.
Maybe the Miami game?
It was the Miami
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
So you're 2-0.
I mean, I think we got other bets that I've won.
On the locker room, you're
Delane,
the
let
worst
me ask you
gambler
this.
on the show.
Wait, what?
You were okay. Let me say that again. You were the worst gambler on the show in the locker room this season.
Because of college football, but I'm on now. I'm on college football now.
You're on college football now?
I'm on now because that was the first time I really started watching college football. That put me in a slump. But I'm on now. I'm on point now.
Let me ask you this. So we just went to Nebraska.
Yeah.
We just did their spring game. It was awesome. The access we were kind of talking about before you walked up. September 20th is the Bussin Bowl.
Yes.
Michigan versus Nebraska in Nebraska.
Ooh.
Call your shot. Who's going to win that game?
Like, have you broken it? Have you done your 5 stages
let me
enough yet?
Do your 5 stages.
Let me go and look at who hit the portals, who came to the Michigan, who came to Nebraska. Because a lot of people hitting the portal now after the draft. Cats was saying that a lot of players wasn't getting drafted from their school. Now they starting to hit the portal. Let me look and see who they getting and what's going on. I know y'all got Michigan got old buddy number 9.
Bryce Underwood?
Yeah,
So
Bryce Underwood.
he a monster.
But they also have Raiola.
I know, but we'll see. Let me go and look and see what's going on with the portal, and I'll have a pick for y'all.
You have a whole spreadsheet. You'll do your 5 stages
I
of the
do
schools.
my 5 stages is only for draft picks and stuff, and
Fair enough.
yeah. So
Very isolated.
yeah.
That is so wild. I knew y'all were up to something when you were checking the mic. Because you sat there for a second. I'm like, what's he doing? And I was just literally I was stupid about it. I just went back on my phone.
But we've been creeping. They've been creeping before this even the pick even came in. It was like it was round 2, and it was like I don't want to jinx this, but hey, if you win, we gotta have you on the bus.
Sure, I would text Delanie like, hey, we gotta get you to come through.
Yeah, then they started hitting me. I'm at a chicken farm, literally at the chicken farm. When y'all FaceTime me, I'm at a chicken farm looking at 40,000 chicks, like straight up. Y'all hit me. I'm like,
So you didn't know when he got drafted in the
no,
fifth?
I didn't know. I'm in a chicken farm near Paducah, Kansas, in a barn looking at 40,000 chickens right now, walking through, not knowing what was going on. And then when you hit me, I step out to conversate with you. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that he got drafted.
The most interesting life.
Yeah.
He's in Portland. He's looking at 40,000. What are you doing looking at 40,000?
You flew to Kansas?
I didn't tell you I'm starting a chicken farm.
You doing it with Von Miller?
No. So I'm gonna be producing eggs. I won't be doing poultry. So I'll be doing all eggs. So so I'm one of my guys, Jordan. Give you a shout out from Smith Farms. He invited me to his farm to look at some of his chickens and see how the setup is before I do my setup. So that's what was going on. I didn't even know he got. That's why I was like, what round did he get drafted in? Once you said the 5th, I went nuts. And then they heard me and they was like, yo, he went the 5th. You called it. So it was just like a crazy little time at that point. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And then a lot of people hit me like, dude, how did you know that?
Yeah.
He said the 5 stages.
The 5 stages.
5 stages
That's what
told
I tell
everything.
everybody, the 5 stages, bro.
That
Got a
is
little lucky with the
crazy.
5th round call.
Gotta get you to the farmer's market, Delanie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
That
I'm
line would be crazy with that.
crazy.
Crazy.
Twin Ponds Farm. Check me out.
Twin Ponds Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
when he
is
went in the
crazy.
5th round, exactly, I was like, this dude was spot
Spot
I
on.
know.
Spot
I
on.
know.
And I hate that.
I
it
know.
happened.
I felt for him too, and with how everything unfolded, like the media and social media.
Yeah.
You as a black dude calling it in
I
January,
know, I
me being
know.
like he's going in the top 2. I just thought that was funny.
I know. They was
Yeah.
like, so is Delanie racist?
Yeah,
The white
right,
guy
right.
thought he was going first round. The black guy thought he was not getting drafted. I'm
How many
like,
texts
nah.
you getting right now?
Man, I guess.
That fucker is going off.
No, I'm on the Zoom.
No, he's not.
Oh no, I'm on the Zoom with my auditor. See, I'm out here, man. This is what I do. Like, that's what I do.
I'm on the Zoom with my auditor.
That's what I do.
This is what I do.
What are you auditing right now?
Everyone who works for me get audited. What do you mean?
Let's go.
Shit.
Delaney never going broke.
You can
Never
hit
going
you
broke.
can hit silent.
Huh?
You can hit silent or
You hear
something.
that little
Oh,
silent.
the thing.
Like we're in the middle of a
Oh,
show.
sorry, bros. Sorry, bros. Sorry. This is just.
Apologize to the audience.
Sorry,
man.
fans out there, man. Y'all know the mule. Stay popping. Stay popping.
Hey, did you see like Stephen A. Smith and Acho and all that talking about code switching?
Yeah, I saw all of that.
And how
man.
like Shedeur, this is happening to him basically because he's black.
But Cam Ward in the first round. That's
First
why,
overall pick.
That's
Yeah.
why I like first overall. And you know what I mean? Compare how many black people with white people in the draft. More black people win.
we
so like,
always
it's like
lose
who
that.
code switching? Where is the code switch at?
Yeah.
I get it. Deion Sanders is a dog, so everybody, gonna feel some type of way because it's Deion Sanders' son. So they thinking that the people, what is
He's
going
getting
on?
a phone call.
What is
Bro,
going
mute
on?
it.
I did mute it.
Put it on Do
It's
Not Disturb.
It's crazy what's happening right now.
I saw him.
I muted it. So everybody's saying that because obviously, Deion Sanders, they don't want no problems with Deion Sanders. And I understand. I don't want problems with Deion Sanders, but they most of the time they're not gonna say how they really feel. They gotta come up with something like, oh, code switching. They didn't pick him because he's black.
It's like the whole Sanders machine has been such like an operation for the last few years. As him going from, was it Jackson State? Jackson State to Colorado. And even last year, like you look at early in the season, it's like Deion's on the podium saying like there's certain teams that's not going to be able to get him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Shedeur, like I'm a fan of his. I think his mental resilience, I think he'll be able to handle the pressure. And it's truly all about what you do with the adversity at this point. Because
Very true.
at the end of the day, you still got drafted. Like you
drafted.
have an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's all any player wants at going to the next level is having an opportunity.
In a very winnable room.
Yeah, and he's got that. So it's all about, I think they're going to get his best because now he feels like he's got this boulder on his shoulder.
Of course.
But yeah, it's like you look at the NFL, bro, everybody's like, oh, they don't care about, they don't. Like you are a commodity when you come in this. Like you are a product and they're going to thumb through and comb through absolutely everything.
Everything.
You see reports where there could have been some, the private meetings weren't the best at times. We don't know the truth of any of that stuff.
No.
You call arrogance, you call confidence, like they don't want to see an intimidating black man, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, at the end of the day, like you put this product in front of the world and it's truly up to the league. And it's not like there's not, what the hell just,
That's the
Hey, Mitch,
the
it
thing
fell off.
off.
it's not like you can make up whatever you want to make up, bro. But it's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
One thing that he wasn't throughout the entire process, like you can't tie humility and everything else to him because he'll be like after the Nebraska game, he's throwing the O-line under the bus. He's had a lot of high moments, but there's enough out there to where it's like, if that need doesn't fit the team, because again, he graded out good, but not like elite. Everybody wants to compare him to like the Mannings of the past. Like these are Hall of Fame graded caliber players coming out. Deion Sanders was that to where you hear the stories of him going to meetings. Oh, y'all won't be there to get me because Deion was that.
Because he knew he was it.
Like he was an undeniable elite talent.
Yeah, first you knew he was going first round.
Right.
See, they was trying to make the hype for him to go first round. It was hype surrounding him. Deion wasn't no hype. It was he is him.
Yeah.
And him is he. You get what I'm saying? So like, so like,
to where you will put up with whatever the bullshit is. But if you're just a good player to where, let's just say some teams had Shedeur as a low first round grade or a second round grade, whatever it is, all the everything else extra, that's up to the organization if they want to potentially deal with that or not, because that is what it is in the NFL.
True. And one thing I'm gonna say, what could have hurt him, he went to Colorado, right? And then you go to the combine and don't perform. You don't run, you don't throw, you don't do anything. You don't show that you can throw to other receivers. You can be coached by other coaches. That's not your father. You don't show that. I think that that was like a bad taste in everyone's mouth because they went like, you already think you going first round. You lost to BYU in your bowl game. We want to see you come up here and put something good. And don't give us that last tape where it was bad. That last tape he put on film was not good. And then you come in thinking you a first rounder after all of that and don't perform at the combine. And a lot of players are now starting not to perform because they agent like, you going first round. Don't perform.
Yeah.
Right. If he's like an Andrew Luck coming out of college with a scouting report like that, you don't have to do shit
don't have to.
You are an undeniable elite talent.
True.
Yeah.
But when you're not, you should at least put something on film. Don't run the 40. Don't do all the other stuff, but throw the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Show them that you can throw the other
if
receivers.
you're a quarterback, if you're a first round guy, if you're a guy that's going to change a franchise, like you should have no problem standing out there in underwear throwing the ball.
There you go.
Routes on air.
Yeah, routes
That's
on
nothing.
air. It's nothing.
Yeah. And at the time, too, of the combine is in the middle of Deion Sanders saying some guy, he'll get drafted by somebody that he won't go to.
Yeah,
And he's basically referring to the teams that were in quarterback need
I know.
because they weren't good in the
Yeah.
past years.
Yeah.
Saints, Browns, whatever.
Yeah.
So then they get to March, and then Deion is like, kind of changes his tune. But by the time you get to March, all that evaluation process is pretty much
Already
finished.
been.
And then you get past the first round. Okay, he doesn't go in the first round. After the second round, if you're getting a quarterback, the thought process of upstairs in the NFL is, okay, let's find ourselves a backup that can develop and hopefully someday be a starter. If you're going to have a backup in the locker room with more microphones on him than anybody else, that is also going to deter you from
yeah.
drafting that guy.
Yes.
So once you
Again,
get out of that,
unless you want to deal with it.
unless
Yeah.
you want to deal with it, which like, I know there were a couple of reports. I don't know which team it was. I can't remember exactly, but they were talking about maybe this head coach doesn't have the personality to be able to handle
Yeah, I saw
this
that.
quarterback.
I saw that.
In Shedeur. And it's like, yeah, the argument there, I think Ryan Clark had this argument is like, then he shouldn't be the head coach. Because I agree. Like I give Tomlin flowers all the time. He's a guy that doesn't matter what personality you get in there, he gets the best out of his guys. And he's
Yeah.
like, hey, he does a great job of seeing crazy different personalities on different spectrums and being like, okay, let's bring all these guys together. He did a great job. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Roethlisberger, the Pouncey brothers, all those guys in one area. But if a head coach doesn't have that capability, then you're missing a huge part of your head coach, because the whole thing is continuity, understanding how to coach players, and getting guys to be their best on Sundays. So that is an issue. If you're a GM, if you're an owner, and you're looking at your head coach being like, I don't know if this guy can handle this personality, automatic red flag.
But to me, I look at it, the head coach is only as good as his staff.
True.
So if you got a staff, you hire a staff member who can handle that quarterback. You hire a quarterback coach that know how to talk to that quarterback coach. Not all head coaches going to know how to talk to every player, because some head coaches is a defensive coach. Some head coaches is an offensive coach. They don't know how to talk to the defensive players. They don't know how to talk to the offense. So you only as good as your staff.
Mm-hmm.
So if your staff, because you're not gonna be in you ain't gonna be in that room every day with that player. So you may not have that same communication that the quarterback coach gonna have with him. So you find that guy who can communicate with him. I don't think that was the issue with people finding that, oh, can I coach him? Will we butt heads? It was more of, what kind of person is he? Is this the type of leader we want in our locker room?
Mm-hmm.
Will he make us better, or will he bring us down? You know what I mean? Because like you said, the blaming. Oh, the offensive line would have blocked. Maybe we would have won that game. You do that in the NFL. Now you got offensive line like fault. Oh, I slipped. You know what I mean? Dude. Yeah. I'm gonna get off the show right now because I got a lot of people calling me, and I got my auditor. I just wanted to come.
This has been this
has been awesome.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah, I know. I wish I
Are
could
you
say,
able to step out? Hey,
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
know, hey, I'm running Bussin. Like I can.
yeah, I'll step out real quick and then I'll come back in.
Should
I don't
we
know
pause
how.
it?
No, y'all keep doing y'all.
But I'm saying I love that you're here.
I
talking
love
through all
being.
this
Yeah,
stuff
I
with you.
love being on the show with y'all. I love because y'all make me who I am, pretty much. The meal. But I'm gonna go out here.
step
real
out,
quick.
coming
back on.
Go step out.
All right, we interrupt this episode because we are bringing you Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Have you tried Neutral? If not, you're missing out. Neutral is so much better than any other seltzer I've tried, and it's made with real vodka and real juice. That's what makes it delicious. Neutral comes in a variety of flavors, pineapple and watermelon to name a couple of my favorites. They also have new flavors, lime and strawberry. Neutral is the perfect drink to bring when hanging with friends because it's such a crowd pleaser. And again, whether you're at a bar watching the games, and you're in the backyard with friends, at a tailgate, starting a little early summer pool bash, drink Neutral, bring Neutral, and keep it tasty with Neutral Vodka Seltzer. We are back in the episode. No, it's all a lot of great points because it's all very nuanced.
Yeah.
It's just the ideas of all of the headlines and conversations where they're going, where they're talking, people are trying to grab at racism, they're trying to talk at owners colluding and trying to keep it out or trying to prove a point or taking it personal, where it's like, dude, even if an owner feels that way, like there's so many people in that building that are coaching for their lives because the game is so year in and year out. It's like if a staff feels like they want a specific player, and I know we're talking about Shedeur, but any of it, you're talking about looking at a specific player and wanting to bring that player in. The position coach wants them, a scouting department wants them, front office, anybody around there that want to go in on somebody, they're doing it because they want to fucking win now. Yeah. Like no teams, like, you know, you have Browns that traded back and got some draft capital for next year. Like some teams are playing a long game, but also with the short term in mind. It's like, I'm sure the Titans, there was headlines about them turning down multiple draft picks to get out of the running for Cam Ward, but they felt so good about, we want this quarterback right fucking now because we feel like he can change our franchise.
Right.
And it's like, nobody's sitting there being like, hey, we want Shedeur Sanders right now because he can win us a franchise, and then somebody's coming in over the top being like, no, this is personal for me. We're not taking him. Because you're just going to put everybody in a bad situation. Because then it's like, hey, if they have a bad year and coach is like, hey, I wanted to draft this quarterback, but you wouldn't let me. It's like, that's not how the conversations go. It's like, well, you're going to fall in this grenade for us now.
The conversation definitely, I mean, I'm sure there are conversations with head coaches when I'm sure some level of colluding, some sort of like behind the curtain stuff does go on at times. But when it comes,
like maybe a personal opinion.
Right. But I will say this. If Shedeur Sanders was as good as Shedeur Sanders says he was, we would not be having this conversation right now. And that is truly just the fact. He is a good football player. He is an above average football player. But when we're in the conversation of comparing him to the Mannings, who are being graded as elite football players, it's a totally different conversation. It's a totally different conversation.
And spinning it into like a positive thing, because again, he did still get drafted. If Shedeur Sanders is as good as he thinks he is, he's going to do just fucking
He's going
fine
to
in the
murder.
NFL. He's going to transcend. He's going to do all the things and accomplish all the things that he wants to do because he is getting an opportunity. And even if it doesn't work out with the Browns, because that's a very crowded quarterback room, I'm going to be fascinated to see how it unfolds in training camp and preseason and how the year goes and all that type of stuff. But he is at the level you want to be at as a player growing up and wanting to play at the National Football League. Yeah, your draft day didn't go exactly how I thought it would, but this is not surprising. This situation is not as unique as people are assuming because this type of shit happens every year. It's just a magnified glass with Shedeur because we've been following documentaries and content since this little dude was in pajamas running around as a kid doing reality shows with his dad. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we've gotten to see him grow. We've gotten to see him.
There's been a light on this kid forever.
Yeah. You've seen the Sabins of the world, like people that Deion has great relationships where they talk. Sean Payton talking about they watch him grow up and he was surprised at how it went, but they might not have needed a quarterback to where you're a little dumbfounded because, again, we've watched this unfold for like a decade. Right. And it just did not go the way he wanted to.
The thing about the NFL, the thing about being at the 1% of professional sports is you cannot have this plan B, this 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of mentality. And I mean, Shedeur had his hands in a lot of different things, whether it was reality shows, different sponsorships, he was rapping, he was doing a whole bunch of different things. You see kind of the change in his attitude. I think him and Shiloh were like live stream or something like that. And Shiloh's like, hey, you want to sing another song? He's like, I'm done rapping. And so this might be the perfect thing for Shedeur Sanders going into his future in the NFL. Being like, yeah, your whole life, essentially you've had everything you've ever wanted. You've lived in mansions. You've had all the cars you've wanted. You've gotten the NIL deals. You were the face of college football for the entire time you were in college football. Now you have to go to a franchise that historically has had not good quarterback play, a franchise that historically has struggled and has only made the playoffs a couple times in the last however many years. So now you have the opportunity to truly be, your words, legendary and create a legacy that will speak for a long, long time. Like he has everything he wants, and for him to go in the 5th round, it is probably the best case scenario for him, for his mental, everything like that. He has to fight this adversity. He's in a room that's crowded, but a room that's winnable. You have a guy that has a $270 million fully guaranteed contract that it's pretty clear that everybody in that building is over that situation. Right. They're done with that, to where they're not sitting there being like, we paid him this much, so he has to play. He's also coming off an Achilles. You got Joe Flacco, who's played 1 billion years in the NFL. He is a smart, Super Bowl winning, understands coverages, understands how to get the ball out from a pocket passer standpoint. He will be able to help Shedeur if Shedeur seeks that help.
And he's old enough in the league to where once Joe Flacco's done with the NFL this year, he's at the age where he just transitions immediately into a senior home.
And you're in a position where there's another rookie who had a really good career, who I believe set the record for most starts in college football, was a part of a playoff winning program or a team that was in the 12-team playoff this year, in Dylan Gabriel. So now you have competition. You get to see
Kenny
how
Pickett, who played a rookie.
Kenny Pickett, who was a first-round draft pick.
Steelers, been with the Eagles.
You have every different personality in there, and
Yeah.
you have every opportunity to be the guy if you truly are the guy.
Yeah,
Do you think-
I love it for the potential part of this story because again, it's like you want the world telling you that you're not good enough, and now he gets to go and show that he is good enough. Because
Right.
again, his mental resilience, his ability he was like the most sacked quarterback. Like didn't really have a line of scrimmage that blocked well for him. Made a lot of great throws. He has the ability. Now he gets to go. He gets to go prove it in Cleveland.
Do you think the Browns will give because they drafted Dylan Gabriel before they drafted Shedeur? Do you think that they're on the same playing field, or you think Dylan's going to have a little bit more leeway because we got you in the third round?
He might, but it'll be fractional.
Yeah, it'd be very minimal
Because third and fifth round, once you get out of the top 2 rounds, that kind of giving, handing it over type thing. Like if you're a first round draft pick, the minute you think you're ready, you're going to play, even if a guy might be a little bit ahead of you at some point.
And even if you
second
make
round,
mistakes.
you your first runner, well, let's get him in here. Let's get some fire on him. Let's have him make these mistakes and learn a little bit.
That was the investment.
Yeah, but if you're third, fourth, fifth, all the way through the 7th, you're basically 3 to 5 is treated pretty much the same, and then 6 and 7. Some people argue that you'd rather be an undrafted guy than go 6 or 7 because then you're now picking a situation that's better for you because you'll usually have multiple teams call you and say, we want you. And the signing bonuses are relatively the same. They're not very much. So you can say, okay, you can look at, let's say Will, for instance, look at each linebacker room and be like, hey, I have the best opportunity in this linebacker room as opposed to this one. If you're a 6th round pick, you might just be getting picked. You're going to be a core 4 guy. They might have a better linebacker room or stronger, whatever. And so you kind of want to be an undrafted guy. But that 3 to 5, everyone's kind of in the same playing field.
I think a third round compared to a fifth, a third is going to get the opportunities first, and they'll get a couple more opportunities extra. Like my breakdown is more like you get first and second, you'll have 3, maybe depending on how you go in 4. But yeah, that 5 to 7 is pretty much all very, very similar. But he will. It's like Dylan Gabriel, he'll get the opportunities first. But it's going to be, Browns are showing you that they want a room that's going to be competing for who they're going to dress for, probably their 3 quarterbacks that they will for the season.
Yeah.
You got to trade one, right? Pittsburgh.
Are they trading one?
You have 5 in Pittsburgh. Who's Pittsburgh's starting quarterback right now? Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph.
They must feel good about Aaron Rodgers.
They drafted Will Howard late, which could pan out later, but
Yeah.
you have no reason to not shop one of those 5 guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Steelers situation is very interesting.
right?
Yeah,
Very
it is.
interesting.
Very.
I was fired up for Dylan Gabriel. I was not ready for him to be drafted in the 3rd
Yeah.
round. I was pumped for him.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Touchdowns in NCAA history.
Yeah. Oh, and when we sat down with him last year when we were out in Oregon for the spring tour, he was saying he came back, he got a low round grade, and just based on size and everything else, you feel like those tangible things kind of play against him. But to see him go in the 3rd round, I was fired up for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
excited
was-
to see what he does because that's a good kid right there. He drove the van, right? That's it. He has
Yeah.
the van. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good head on his shoulders.
Good head on the
Seems like.
shoulders. I've only seen him live one time, and that was against Ohio State, and he was very impressive in that game. And I've only seen Shedeur one time, and that was at the Nebraska game. And G, you were with me sitting there at halftime. They're fucking dead. There's no, they're. That was the
Oscar
worst.
Tate.
Those
Play the
2
big
back-to-back series of stop on 3rd down, whatever, and then pick.
Yeah.
It was that was maybe
was
one of the
hype.
worst games I've ever seen out of a Division I football team.
No,
The way they were operating and handling, I thought there was no way to come back. But kind of shows what adversity brings. Backs against the wall a little bit. They ended up competing to possibly play in the Big 12 championship,
Mm-hmm.
which is huge.
Yeah.
A bid.
You know who did play in that Big 12 championship?
ASU.
Cam Scatabo.
Scatabo.
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy
buddy,
saw a post where
I
when he
gotta
was
be
getting
so
drafted,
happy
they're
for
like,
him.
Scatabo's just crying
Yeah.
tears of pure creatine.
Yeah. I saw a clip it said Scatabo's first run for the Giants, and it was the longest yard. That's how a white man runs a football. Yeah. I mean, dude, good for him. I mean, his story is incredible too. He goes to Sacramento State, ends up transferring to ASU. He's a guy that, undersized, white, small, not very fast, all the things kind of going against him, and took a team and put it on his back where he was the bell cow for 2 seasons, and we got to see him in the spring game when you just ran him. You understood immediately. Like,
Yeah,
we
I was
got
like,
to
hey,
run
buddy,
this guy.
listen, I know you're the starter, but I'm going to need you for all 4 quarters.
Yeah,
I
yes.
mean, that's
And
Mike
it takes a
Allstott.
team to the fucking playoffs.
Literally,
It's
Mike
crazy.
Allstott.
They should have won that game against Texas too.
Oh, that was a good
They
game.
should have won that
Yeah,
game
That
against
was a
Texas.
good
man.
game. My man was throwing up, still toting that rock.
Going.
Like it was
Going.
nuts.
Yeah.
You know who I think is going to be a stud?
Who?
You need a little bit more on the O-line there, but Ashton Genty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
got such a
I
good
think
head.
he's-
And
and
you
shoulders,
saying that
man.
because he had the Raiders.
Well, yeah, I'm hyped that he went there, but we got to do the 2-minute drill with him after the draft.
Yeah, I saw
We had
that.
seen
That
him
was
briefly in the Nashville airport, but he just seems like a quality dude, man.
Dope.
Quality
He legit,
dude.
man. I watched him fish and listen to his little draft story. I was like, I like him, man.
Yeah.
I like him. He's
And
humble.
the fact that he stayed at Boise State.
I know,
and
he
he
coulda left.
could have made way more
Way
money
more
somewhere
money.
else, but he decided to stick with it. That I'm sure that went a long way.
That's the guy I want.
Yeah.
Because when you come into an NFL locker room, they be like, tell us what school you went to. What's your signing bonus? Oh, first I started at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
Then I went to Nebraska. Then I went to
Right. You
You
got
like-
guys going all over the place.
all over the
Yeah.
place. You like, God damn.
And this dude, I mean, he's with Pete Carroll
Oh,
in a
yeah.
place where
Oh.
like they work. Yeah, Chip Kelly, like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
they could be good this year.
Isn't he the second highest paid running back in the
Yeah,
NFL?
ever because of the draft.
I thought he was
yeah.
like for the 4th.
He's top 5.
Yeah, he definitely top 5.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
just because
Well,
of just
that-
the running back market and where he got drafted?
Yeah,
You didn't
and
hear
it's
that-
like 30 million guaranteed or something.
Yeah, that's why they
32.
say you shouldn't draft a running back high in the draft because now it's about to set the bar for all these other running backs. About to
Right.
be like, I need to make more
Yeah.
over 31 million
Yeah,
now.
good point.
Yeah. Pete Carroll, man. Pete Carroll don't give a fuck.
I'm fired up for him.
I mean,
though.
you had to get him. It
Yeah.
was like once Jacksonville made that trade, I said, "Oh, it's about to." I knew it was about to mess up the draft. If it would have went in order, you could he probably would have fell in a second. That's what I was thinking. But soon as
Genty?
no Sanders,
Oh,
soon
we're
as
back on
Oh,
Sanders.
yeah,
gotcha,
so
back.
yeah, soon as that Jacksonville traded up to get Travis Hunter, I said, "Oh, the draft jacked up." You can ask anybody who was sitting with me in the green room at the Titan Stadium. I said, "I'm about to win this bet." I do just like that. I said just like that. They like, what bet?
Off the second pick?
Off the second pick. I'm
That
like,
is
the draft
crazy,
is
bro.
jacked up. I'm about to win. I said, oh, it's jacked up. I said, I'm about to win
mean,
this.
bro. It is a wild move for the Jags to take Travis Hunter, trade that much draft capital to go get a non-quarterback guy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
I mean,
we were sitting with that crew in the little cafeteria area in Media Row, and they were saying how when they were asking about, what was it, Abdul Carter, or
Yeah,
they were
Abdul
talking
Carter.
to Jacksonville about somebody. I forget who it was, but all that GM wanted to talk about was Travis Hunter.
yeah.
They're trying to get a feel for him on maybe Ashton Genty since they were like 4 or 5 at that point
Yeah.
before Jacksonville traded up.
Yeah.
And they said all the GM wanted to talk about was Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I knew they wasn't
But they
getting
went and got their guy.
'cause They got a running back.
Yo, Travis Hunter, bro. I want to like. Doesn't FanDuel already have odds on the app for
Yeah.
him to run offensive rookie in the year and defensive rookie
That
of the year?
ain't
Like
gonna-
if he wins both,
Plus 5,000. Yeah, plus 5,000 on FanDuel.
bro. His
Sportsbook right
energy,
now.
he's got the juice.
He
man.
do, but we went and got the wide receiver who put him in the blender. Yes, we did.
They came from Stanford.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
the
Yes.
odds on FanDuel for Travis Hunter to win both the offensive and defensive rookie of the year is at plus 5,000 right now.
Got to sprinkle
How
that.
insane would that be? Do you think he's going to be able to play both sides of the ball in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so, but not as at a high quality as he did in college. It's
Well,
a
yeah,
little
it's a
different.
different- yeah,
It's
Yeah,
hard
a
to
little
say,
different.
man. I mean, dude, how do you play 120 snaps a game?
You think he gonna be able to do that in the NFL?
I think he'll be able to-
120 some
I'll say
snaps
this.
without being dead.
All I'll say is I hope he does.
Yeah,
I'd
but-
be so sick to see, bro.
When your rookie year, when did you hit the wall?
Shit. Well, my rookie year was kind of nice because I got hurt like
Oh,
week 12,
well.
so I missed last few. I hit when the wall hit. Yeah, I hit when the wall hit.
Because you know that usually when the season keep going, college football over with. We're
Yeah.
still playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get like past November, you get into December, you're like, what the fuck is going
God
on
damn.
here?
playing 140 snaps in altitude in Colorado.
True.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. The man is a
That is
dog
crazy.
for doing
But
that.
and
But
what's weird too, I don't know if I heard this
2,600
correctly, but
snaps.
Jacksonville was doing a press conference saying he'll be on offense primarily with packages on defense.
Well, they-
that feels backwards to me.
no, they draft
Yeah.
him as a receiver. Did no one
they drafted him
notice
as a
that?
cornerback wide receiver. That's what it said on the thing.
I thought it said receiver.
He came up, he said,
Oh,
Their
yeah,
press
both.
conference, they're talking like his primary role is going to be offense.
Yeah,
Ball starting to
receiver.
learn the
Yeah.
defensive
I
playbook
think you
stuff.
have. I don't know if you were about to say this, JP, but if he plays wide receiver, you have him and Brian Thomas Jr., two young, fast, badass wide receivers Now it's just up to Trevor Lawrence to make it work. But I'm with you. I think you got to play heavy
Defense.
corner
Defense.
and then
Play
make
off.
a splash. On
Yeah.
offense.
Right.
Gotta
Because it's
roll
easier.
offense.
Like if you play primarily defense, a lot those corners they don't really take breaks, right? They're on the field the whole game.
They on the field
They're on the field the whole game.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, you can kind of change out a little bit, so you can have a more extensive package for this cat.
Yeah.
Put him in on a certain downs, get him in that breather he'll probably need. But bro, playing Colorado 140 snaps a game, like
That's intense.
that's crazy.
I mean, but
And the kid is impressive, bro. Even when we saw him in Nebraska, I watched him. He just looked different than all the other kids.
He just
On
seems so
both sides of the
light
ball.
walking around, like he just has
He was
bounce.
floating, bro. His
yeah,
hands are
he's
crazy. The
an
way he
athlete.
can locate the ball.
Them
is just-
celebrations, touchdown celebrations, is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna see. It's either gonna be he gonna shine on both, or he gonna be a
touchdown and a pick six in one game.
Bro.
It's over.
That
You
would
think
be
he can be
insane.
a
Hall of
bust?
Fame, Jack.
No, I don't think he's gonna be a bust. I said it's either gonna pan out him playing both ways, or it's not gonna work. him
He's
playing
at such a
both
weird,
ways.
he's at a weird, like, it's hard to evaluate what a bust would be for him. Like,
But
you
he's
gotta play both
but
sides
he's
of the
so
ball.
high up. If he don't perform even in the middle, people will be calling him a bust.
yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you playing both sides of the ball, if you play in the middle for 10 years, both sides of the ball, never make a Pro Bowl, never make an All Pro, is that a bust? But you're playing wide receiver and corner, but you are
Hall of Fame.
not a top 5 guy at any position, not a top 8 guy.
Is he on the same squad the whole time? I guess it just
I don't know if
depends.
that, I don't know if that
if he
plays.
ends his
Does that matter?
well,
when you're talking about a bust?
if he's getting extended, it's like they drafted him to have a long career, and if he's having a long career to where he's playing solid football on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and then the external stuff he just doesn't get. I guess it just depends on how the team sees it.
Only one person that did this other than him, and that's Deion Sanders. And Deion Sanders did it at a
You must have
high
forgot about
level.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Wilson too, but he didn't play as much receiver
True.
as Deion Sanders did. Deion Sanders would go out there, cook a cat, catch a punt return, go play DB, get a pick, take it to the crib. This man did everything. So
Yeah, but
play
he
baseball.
wasn't playing. He only played a few snaps.
yeah,
on
he had
offense.
packages on offense.
They're
That's
talking about Travis Hunter.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me,
Or it's like if he was playing all defense and he'd be getting at least 20, 30 snaps on offense.
that's fine. I think he should play all defense and then get like 20 to 30 snaps on
Yeah.
offense. That's what Deion did. That's why I think Deion had a great career at 60 receptions for 784 yards. That's Deion Sanders? God damn.
Yeah, this is
That's what I'm saying.
This is AI, and I guess his most productive season on both sides. It says Deion Sanders played on offense for roughly 50% of the snaps during his 1996 NFL
Told
season with
you.
the Cowboys, and then he played 80% of defensive plays in the same season.
That is
from AI.
crazy,
Sometimes
bro.
AI has led us astray, but
that
is crazy.
Insane.
That
That's
is
the only
insane.
person we can compare him to.
Yeah.
Why he is him and him is he.
Yeah.
But we said too, if Travis Hunter is elite at both, he could get 2 Pro Bowls per year. Play 10 years, make 20 Pro Bowls.
They can't. I don't think they're gonna do that. You can't.
Did you hear Warren Sapp talk about Travis Hunter?
No.
He was just talking about, he's played with Deion, he's played with the bulls of the league, and he's like, this dude is.
He's a dog.
like, he's about football.
He's a dog.
Like 24/7, this dude is he's about football.
But I'm excited to see him go up against, you know what I'm saying, some of the elites we have in the NFL
Yeah.
that he don't see in his conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So AJ, that's what like dogs, DK, like big boys.
Yeah.
Because we watch him go against a half decent big boy at Stanford, and he big boyed him.
He got 152 tutties.
Yeah, big.
Drafted him.
Yeah, big boyed him. So let's see what happens when he go against Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They play the
Chase.
Eagles. They play the Eagles. You got to lock down AJ Brown or Smitty, then go play offense and get locked down by Cooper DeJean.
I mean, that's tough.
That's a long day.
That's a long day, bro.
That's a long day. Yeah. Strap up.
I hope he can do it though.
I do
It'd be
too,
so
like,
sick.
It'll be crazy because he'll be like probably the first
He can
player
do it every
to
week,
ever.
but 2 times a year.
Because he doesn't have to go guard the best guy.
No.
Man, but what? No, he definitely does. He got to. Why would you a lockdown corner? You Heisman. You better guard the best player on offense.
No.
If they, again, they're like Jacksonville's primarily looking at him for offense. But yeah, if they brought
True.
him in to be a corner, it's like,
Right.
yeah, then you got to.
But to me, I'm seeing him on both sides. It would be dumb to put him on the best receiver all game on defense and then have him come play offense. Like, I'm putting him on wide receiver number 3.
But then how can you say he the best DB in the league if he ain't even covering the best receivers?
Oh, I'm not saying he's the best DB in the league.
I'm not saying you saying that. I'm saying that's going to be talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to pick.
If he rookie of the year, defense and offense, but you didn't cover the best wide receivers, but you still won rookie of the year. See, sometimes that, to me,
What if he leads in picks?
that's different. Now, if he lead in picks,
Man,
we can't do nothing about it. Dude,
I think
just know
if
football.
if he plays a significant amount of snaps on both sides of the ball and is just efficient, he should win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Because that's the more impact than anybody could have on their team.
I
It's
give you that.
crazy,
I give you
man.
that. I just think he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
So
Another one I'm fired up for, Tyler Booker going to Dallas.
yeah.
And you see the way everybody
perfect.
responds, I feel like, to offensive linemen when they get drafted. Like, the fan base seem like they hate it. Like, I was looking at the Will Campbell stuff. People are like, oh, worst draft pick of all time.
They're
blah,
not
blah,
pretty.
blah.
That's why. It's
Yeah.
nothing pretty about old linemen.
You see Tyler Booker's interview with Michael Parsons,
Nah, I didn't see it.
where he asked him about, like, why he loves football. And he's like, guys who, like, love football, they love doing, like, their pregame. They love taking their supplements before the game, training for it. They're enjoying going out and playing football. He's like, what I love about it is knowing that, like, basically all the kids love that, but then they come across Tyler Booker. And when you come across Tyler Booker, when I'm hitting you over and over and over, series, snap, every game, and I see that love leave their eyes, that's what makes me love the game.
I love that. That's me. I love that.
Michael Parsons' reaction.
They was getting
I ain't
juiced up,
gonna-
bro.
the team.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't listen to cats who still play football podcasts. Like, nah, I don't do that.
So, hey, you
Those
didn't-
times are weak,
so you
right?
didn't mess with Bussin' With The Boys?
I'll fuck with Bussin' With The Boys. This is the difference. Y'all was on y'all way out.
Truth hurts.
True hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, y'all saw the vision. It's like you guys were transitioning out.
Yeah, y'all saw it, and I said, "Okay, they about done." Them boys, the boys put a lot into it. Taylor had to take a year off.
What else do we have? What are the odds for? I see you got on the document the odds for offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year, rookie of the year.
Okay, I thought y'all was
So on
about to say.
FanDuel, Genty's at plus 270, Cam Ward plus 400, Travis Hunter plus 750, Tet McMillan plus 950, Omarion Hampton plus 1400. For defensive rookie of the year, you got Abdul Carter plus 250, Jalen Walker plus 700, Travis Hunter plus 1000, Michael Williams plus 1100, and Shamar Stewart plus 1200.
It's gonna be hard to get defense of the year. I just looking at those names, rookie defense of the year. Oh my god, it's gonna be tough.
What are your thoughts on Cam Ward? Titans taking Cam Ward first overall.
I like Cam Ward.
Knowing that too, it sounds like they were fielding phone calls of people giving a lot of shit to try and get in that first slot. And the
Yeah,
Titans
no,
said
they was trying to trade up. Titans wasn't going for it. They wanted Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward, and the reason why I like him, he's humble. That dude is humble. Even though everybody, 0 stars, everyone had to say 0 goddamn stars. I heard that 100 times when this man got drafted. He had 0 stars coming out of high school. Who cares? Like, the dude been through so much, and to overcome everything that he's been through to be where he at today, I love that. He didn't come with chains on, jewelry on, came with a nice suit. That's the type of quarterback I want. I don't want to look at my quarterback, he look like he's supposed to be in a rap video. I want the quarterback that looked like he a goddamn quarterback.
He had a video with Shedeur too. He's like, no, I don't want to do a song. He's like, I want to be a football player.
Yeah.
I want my identity as a football player.
As a
I want when you
football
look me
player.
up, it says American football player.
Yeah.
Josh Pate told a cool story about Cam Ward. I think he was in Miami like a couple of days after Cam Ward got there, and he was working out. I don't know if it was Josh Pate, so I might be misquoting that, but he walked in and he saw that Cam Ward was just giving it to the Miami football team, like
Being
going
a
in
leader.
on them. Yeah, being basically telling them how things aren't good enough. You guys got to be better, X, Y, and Z. But he's been in the building for like 72 hours at this point, and these guys are sitting there and eating it. And then he goes and produces the way he did on the field. But I love the 0 star thing. I know you don't like it. I love it because it shows the kid right now who has no offers in high school. Like, you still can make it even if people say
No
you
matter
can't make
what.
it. And it shows how much like this is unbelievable. Like, this kid was, from an evaluation standpoint, every single college D1,
Didn't see
2,
him.
all of them. Didn't see the capability this kid has. Now, fast forward to 2025. He's in Green Bay. He's holding up the 1. He's been the first overall pick of the 2025 draft. That shit is fucking dope to me.
Oh, he's the first 0-star recruit to be drafted first in the in NFL history.
Yeah.
Is that true, or are they
I mean,
just someone
that's
just
what
made
this,
that
that's
up?
what this graphic in front of us is saying.
I
right
mean,
now.
and I
Instagram.
like that as a
Yeah, if Instagram said it, it's got to be right.
Instagram, of course.
The thing that I don't, dude, only thing that worries me about Cam Ward, because I love the mentality, I love the attitude, I love how humble he is. It's all these experts saying how this is the worst draft. The quarterback draft is not great. If Cam Ward was getting drafted, it'd been between Bo Nix and whoever got drafted after Bo Nix in last year's draft. If JJ McCarthy was in this draft, he'd have been the first overall pick, and he was like the second or third. Like, all these things give me pause, but like the Cam Ward shows, even being around him for the 2-minute drill, like this kid has a presence about him that's like, he wants to be great. He knows he's going to be great, and he's going to go after it and fucking get it.
This is just being real. Analysts are like me and you. We just say what the fuck we think. We don't know what's going to happen.
You got
we
5
don't know what's
stages.
true. Yeah, I know, but we're all guessing at the end of the day. We can make these stages. We can put them in a category. It's a guess at the end of the day. You don't know what these dudes are thinking in that room, sitting there, analyze like what they want from a player. These dudes come up here, like I watch guys get mad. These NFL players, NFL scouts don't know how to pick quarterbacks. They don't know how to do nothing. Like these guys are getting mad. No one listens to
Kuiper.
Mel
no
Kiper
one,
crashing out.
Yeah, no one listens to
was
them.
crashing
For
out.
20
bro.
years, NFL, they don't have value.
Yeah, 'cause no one
Yeah,
listens
this is to
to
show
him.
it.
Yeah.
But what have you really done but just go to school to be a journalist and learn how to read shit and take that and then go up there and give your opinion? No one gives a shit. Honestly, no one cares. Like, you can say all you want to say about these players. I could have been wrong. You know what I mean? About the pick, and no one cares. Obviously, they're gonna joke with us because we clowns and people want to make fun of us for making a bad pick or getting a good pick. But these dudes really take that shit to heart.
Personal.
Like, personal.
It's their jobs.
It's our jobs.
Nah, my job is not to evaluate people
At all.
at all.
At all. But
Their
we
job-
give
their
our
job is
opinions.
choosing
Didn't do
evaluate.
one scouting report.
But we give our opinions, don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, what is it? Daniel Jeremiah. These guys are all literally paid to evaluate players and say what they think.
Yeah, they
So,
collecting
yeah.
a check.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, some of that goes into it.
Yeah.
I
But
do
at the
feel
same
like they
time-
spend a lot of time trying to break it down.
It's tough to break it down when
And
you're
think
not
about-
sitting in those rooms, though, with these GMs and those scouts. It's really hard to
Think
break it
about
down.
in the fall when we're doing the locker room and you get on the FanDuel app and you look at it and you're like, all right, I think the Steelers are going to cover against the 49ers. And then you look at all the information. It's so easy to second guess that bet.
Yes,
And be like, okay,
always.
you know what? Because of these couple of things, I'm going to go this way. When really that shit might not matter at all.
At all.
And then they get blown out and you lose a bet. You're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Like, why do I try to reinvent the
Again.
wheel every time I place a bet?
And that's what they do.
Yeah, but a lot of those analysts, they have a lot of sources inside buildings and everything else
True.
where they try to piece it all together in their own way.
If I was a GM, I would be giving false information the whole 5 months until the draft. Because I know it's moles in every organization thinking they can get $1 by giving information.
Yeah.
I will sit there and tell lies. I will just be getting coffee like, yeah, I think we're going to go with Shedeur first round. Just so people can believe it. Just so because I know everyone is a mole. I'll
Delanie
just
would be
lie.
a fucking menace, bro. He would get so many people
So I'll be
fired
sitting there
in
having
mainstream
coffee.
media.
I think we're going to go here.
Can
with
we
the first
pull up the
pick.
Titans draft? Because I don't want to speak too quickly.
Can you, once you go through it, will you try and pronounce every single draft pick's name? Because there's
Every
a few
single
that are,
100
there's a
and-
few that are tough.
No, he talking about just for the Titans. just for the Titans.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll give
just for the
everybody
Titans.
their shine.
Yeah, all 240.
Oh yeah, I have for too many, and I'll do the undrafted guys as well. The this cat from what's the GM's name for the Titans?
I forgot.
I
his
feel like
name.
as soon as Callahan. Oh, not
I
Callahan.
forgot his name.
Borzinga, something like that.
Borzinga. He came from
yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is this man knew what he was doing.
He definitely
this
know
past
what he's
weekend.
doing. I said, "Oh my God, we got a good GM."
All
I said,
right,
we got a good GM.
First round, first pick, obviously we know is Cam Ward. Next, second round, 52nd pick, Olawafemi Oladijo. That's
Wait, did he say it correctly?
One for
Okay.
one.
Come on. 2 for 2. Edge, UCLA. I don't know anything about him. 3, third round pick, 82nd overall. Kevin Winston Jr., safety, Penn State. Don't know anything about him. 4th round, 103. Shamiri Dyke. Wide receiver, Florida. Tough last name.
I believe it's pronounced DK.
Doesn't matter.
Is it?
How is it
I
spelled?
saw someone like phonetically spell it online, and it was like Deekay.
Oh.
But I don't know
Buddy,
if that's true or not. But
it
I'm gonna
does-
say Dyke the whole season.
No one's seeing phonetics. No
They
one's
go-
hooked on phonics on Sundays.
They
We're
gonna
all
mess
looking at
that up
that.
at
They're
the
going to mess
game.
up every single time.
Oh my God.
4th round pick, 120, Gunnar Helm, tight end. By the way, that's
a
where
good
I
pick.
started to sit there
That's a good pick.
and be like,
that's a
kid
good
at
pick.
1,002 yards, like
They're
10 plus
saying-
touchdowns.
There's whispers that he's gonna be, and I'm not just saying this right now, the next Delanie Walker. He doesn't have the speed that Delanie had, but I
hope-
saw a lot of people being like, "This could be the next Delanie Walker."
I saw
for the
that
Titans
too.
Franchise.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think
saw
about
that.
that?
I love it.
He's white.
Records are meant to be broken. It don't right. The first record, the white dude had it. Then the black guy broke it.
Yeah.
So it may be another white guy to break
Yeah.
it.
All right. White guys are having a comeback in recent years.
I mean, tight end. Come on.
Fair enough. The second, 4th round pick, 136 overall, Alec Ayo Manor. This
Got it. Good
All
job.
right, wide
Good
receiver,
job.
Stanford. That's the
Oh,
kid.
that's the kid,
That's the kid
yes.
that cooked Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Another great pick.
Yes.
And I've only seen that game, so I don't know if it's a good pick
No,
or
he
not.
balled in a lot of games.
Yeah.
People in a row.
Yeah.
Last time we did that.
We haven't done that in a while, but we need offense right now.
5th round pick, 167, Jackson Slater, guard out of
Guard.
Sacramento State. I love guards being taken from small
Small
schools.
school, they be
I
dogs.
love it. They're dogs.
They're dogs.
They're fucking grinders.
Yeah.
They don't care about the bullshit. They get in there. They get their nose fucking dirty.
Yeah.
They go home. They have a couple of Bud Lights. They give it in the morning. And they
Yeah.
do it fucking again.
He's
I love
definitely
that.
a hunter.
Can you do me a favor and pull that back up?
He's definitely a hunter. Look,
No.
I told you he's
a
definitely a hunter.
Hunter.
Hey, on Twitter today too, I saw Jackson Slater was wearing our Bussin hat.
No
Come on,
shit.
Jackson.
Shout out
There
to
you
boy
go.
Jackson Slater.
He know what
And
time
you know
it is.
too, if they drafted him, Bill Callahan just ready to get his hands on him.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Get him on
mean-
that fucking slur. Get him going.
If you-
I saw the graphic. I'm like, he must be solid if Bill Callahan
Yeah,
used to get him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sat
but-
there. And that's my guy.
Cats don't understand. We have a legendary offensive line coach. Legendary.
Yeah.
Legend.
they don't
Wait
even.
for it. Dairy.
You know what I'm saying?
6th round pick, 183, Marcus Harris, cornerback out of Cal. Don't know anything about that. Don't know anything
Need
about
corners.
him. Need corners. Gotta have him.
Gotta have him.
Gotta have
Get
him.
your
Hope he's
corner with a
fast.
chip on his shoulder,
Get him
man.
on punt. Get him in the gunner. Let him go. And the 6th round pick, 188, Khalil Mullings, running back from the University of Michigan. This cat, dude, first 20 games he started at Michigan was at middle linebacker.
You know what?
Oh, that was this cat?
Yes.
And he had a breakout game against, was it USC?
This past year, well, not this past year, the year before that, the national championship year, they put him as a running back. Had a couple of plays, was more of a short yardage cat. Big dude, strong dude.
Yeah.
And then we saw this past year, like USC had a crazy run, had great runs against Ohio State. Like, I mean, you see based on the throwing capabilities of Michigan last year, we relied on this guy and Donovan Edwards the entire time. One thing that was crazy, Donovan Edwards not getting drafted by the Jets when he was the CFB 25 cover athlete, which is just tough, man. He kind of got lost in the sauce this year. I don't know if it was a Yips thing or whatever, but
What a pivot for
because of
this
guy.
kid, though.
Yeah, incredible.
From backer to running back, and then you get drafted.
But that's
He's got
but-
vision too.
yeah,
But
it goes
he's
to-
got great vision.
It goes to the point
He's
when I
6'2"?
first came in though.
He's big.
Getting drafted in the 6th round to a team that has 2 good running backs already in
Right.
the Titans. So that hurts.
He's going to have to be a teams guy.
He gonna have to be a team guy, but he
Teams
can
guy
tackle.
and get to know third down
Yeah,
package.
but Pollard-
he can tackle
Pollard and
too.
Spears, like you got your short yardage guy
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
Huh?
You got your short yardage guy right here. He's gonna have.
But again, a guy
7
that
snaps a
can
game.
round out that if you're only dressing 3 and you're looking at numbers, you know this running back, former linebacker, is going to be running down, flying around,
Yeah,
making
knocking
plays,
people out.
special
He gonna,
Smacking
so he
dudes.
gonna suit up. So that's a good point
That's a
because
good
he gonna
pick.
suit up.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
gonna
He's
suit up.
he'll be your personal protector on punt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
could
that
be.
it. I mean, kickoff, punt return, everything.
That's a core 4 guy. Through and
Yeah,
through.
core 4.
Core 4. No
Core
doubt
4,
about it.
yeah.
He's dialed in. Can we see what the experts are saying was the best draft, like draft grades? I just want to see it real quick.
Where the tight ends ranked?
NFL. No.
Who else was on that draft for the Titans?
That's the last one I saw.
No, it was.
No,
free
yeah, that was
agencies.
the
yeah.
last pick.
Yeah,
And then we called Xavier Restrepo.
yeah.
You see the Eagles got Ty Robinson, And then stuff that was kind of going viral last night when I was doom scrolling.
They
later,
got an A-.
Was there like, hey, if they take away the tush push, he'll just run Ty Robinson right at your face because he scored like 9 out of the 10 times that they had him on goal line at Nebraska. Just another monster. Like, okay, you're going to take the tush push away. We're just going to draft this boy to just have him on the goal line.
Right.
So the Eagles got like great picks. Like
Because the
all- bro,
Eagles
they
don't
always
need anybody.
fucking do.
They got an
Yeah.
incredible roster, and then you just get to add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
just
taking the best
add-
available every single
Yeah,
time.
every
in their
time,
mind,
yeah.
which is just so great.
A lot
One
of
thing I did see,
Alabama
the
kids.
Arizona Cardinals, they got a good pick out of Will Johnson, second round. I know he's had a couple of neat things and stuff like that.
Damn,
but
we
he's
didn't
a
even
stud.
fall in the top 5.
This Gray Zabel kid, dude, North Dakota State, big fan of the bus, by the way. North Dakota State guard tackle individual, stud. This kid cares about family, God, country, and farming. That's the type.
My
That's the kind
kind
of
of guy.
offensive lineman you
My
want.
kind of guy.
That's right. Football's the top. That's God tier. And then those other ones. Then life.
Dude, the Patriots.
Always.
You know who
gonna be
I'm
top.
fired up to watch is that the running back Henderson.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's a good ball player.
everyone
He's a good ball-
salivates over his third down pass, bro.
Mhm.
Salivates. Like anytime you see guys talking on positive, they're like, what do you love about him? And dudes just love like jerking off to his third down pass.
Picking
bro.
up blitz.
Which teams love? Like if
We
you're a
need
3 down
that.
back,
Pick up a blitz?
Yeah.
Shit, it's hard to find a running back
but,
that can
but
pick
having
up a blitz.
and having
nowadays.
just an all around back, somebody who could like start
Yeah,
in
you
his
don't have to
effective
take
on
him
first
out.
and second. Yeah, he
You
can
don't
just
have
play
to
all
take
3 downs.
all
you
three
know
downs.
what? You know what Mike Vrabel wants to do. He wants to run the ball. He wants to be physical. You got a back
Yeah.
that can do both those things.
Yep.
Dude, I love the pick Will Campbell too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this cat.
Yeah.
And then Sherm was telling me that there people were like measuring my arms versus his arms.
Oh, yeah,
Which-
on social media.
Yeah, I think the arm thing is so fucking dumb. Here's why. 95% of offensive linemen are not using their length anyway. So if you have long arms, it's like you're losing 4, 5, 6 inches. If this Will Campbell kid refines his game a little bit and uses length, which he does, you see in a lot of his LSU film, if he gets pinpoint accuracy with those strikes, his arms are going to be just long enough.
I
They're
mean,
gonna
what do
be
you
awesome.
mean by using your length? Because I feel like if you shoot too crazy and you miss, you
Right.
done.
That's a tight end comment right there. Here's the thing.
And he's
When-
talking about long arms. Like when you feel somebody hit you with the long arm and there's nothing that you're able to like get inside on, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Dude,
You
sucks
can't
having
reach
these short-
somebody's
I ain't
body.
gonna lie.
T-Rex
I'm not a
arms.
long arm guy. I'm a catcher.
No,
I
yeah,
catch.
you catch and bring him in, hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
because you don't have to block for very long. You
True.
know, on a lot of things, like if you when
You
you
ain't
and
trying to
I
push
would
the
go
line of
check the B, and
scrimmage.
I'd be
Yeah.
out there to help you. You know, you just have to hold up for a certain amount of time.
I'm
You can have back help. But if you are a 4th overall pick and you're going to play left tackle and you're going to protect Drake May's blind side, like length is the most underutilized thing and the most helpful thing an offensive lineman can do. If you're able to just keep the guy away from your body, buddy, I'm telling you, it is an absolute game changer. Shout out Mike Sullivan, because when I came to the league, I didn't use any length. I just played with my feet and I was stronger than everybody in college.
Yeah.
Once I used my length, like that's when I really took the steps. And this kid, he's got the attitude. I started watching highlight videos of this dude. My God.
And at LSU,
He does the fucking eye black. And then there's one where it's like, he goes up to the camera and he's like, tell them bitches to sit the fuck down. And then all of a sudden it goes to him just like dumping cats. And that shit got me
and
hard.
at LSU during
That was football
during
porn.
training camp, he was honored to wear number
we
7
ranked
throughout
32.
training camp. Like, because 7's like the coveted number.
Yeah.
Honey Badger.
You seen the video of him squatting 600 pounds?
Mm-mm.
There's one, he's like in the LSU. He gets the weight on his back. The whole team's around him. And he looks at the camera, winks, and then squats the fuck out of it.
It's a
I got
low-ranked draft
I got
class with number
goosebumps
32.
thinking about this cat mowing down the AFC East. Mowing these bitches down.
He's good.
He's
Hey,
got
Delanie,
it.
You can do the show with us, man.
Oh yeah. I love the bus and the back of the bus. I fuck with them.
Yeah, but we're doing the show too.
Yeah. No,
And the microphone's right in your mouth.
I know they Tennessee fans. You know what I mean. And we ranked 32.
I did see that. Ranked lowest due to the least draft capital over expected, indicating limited value in their selections.
Wrong.
He said wrong.
They just added. They don't know nothing. They
I
just
think
be
that,
writing shit.
that
bro.
might just mean like they were expected to probably trade the first overall pick.
Why
because-
would they?
I don't know. but
People were pretty
Traded.
like,
I know
damn,
they
that's
did
so dumb.
trade a
Why would
lot
you
though.
not
Those
trade
middle
that
rounds, they
first
did
overall?
trade
Did y'all
back
not
quite a
see
bit.
the stadium went nuts when we hit Cam Ward? I mean,
Oh,
you
I'm
couldn't
with you.
even hear.
That, the outside noise has 32, but I feel like everybody in Nashville who sees all these offensive players that the Titans took, everybody's elated knowing what the Titans have done in the past.
Let's have a come to Jesus conversation about what the expectation should truly be for the Tennessee Titans this year in Cam Ward.
This year, Nah, you
AFC
crazy,
Championship
bro.
or bust.
Hey, nah, you
Jack,
crazy.
don't do that.
Don't do that. That's crazy.
You can't be 500 in the league anymore. It's 17.
I know, but like 8, 9, 7, and 10.
I mean, here's the deal. I think the record, if you go 7 and 10, but you're showing a massive upswing, you're losing games in a very small fashion, you're not making dumb mistakes. You can see all three phases doing their jobs, and it just happened to be, hey, the kick went in. It was a long kick. He made that kick, so they end up winning by 1, and that's your record at 7 and 10. We should sit here, be proud of that. Know that Callahan's the guy still, blah, blah, blah. Because if they start the way they started last year, Callahan's going to have his ass out the door pretty quickly.
Oh, no,
They only start the way that happens if Cam Ward's making the same,
but like
doing the same type
and
of
no
play.
disrespect
He's
to,
not gonna
to
be
Will.
doing that.
Will was making some bonehead fucking moves in the beginning. He was memed every week for the first 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
4 for 4, on the meme zone. Like that's a tough deal.
Yeah.
But this Cam Ward kid, like first overall pick, he was 0 stars, all the things, whatever. Bill Callahan has a history of all the quarterbacks that he's had in the past. If he's decent this year and shows a couple of flashes, this is actually a quote from JP because I really agree with it. We should all be proud of that. We don't need this cat to be, we would love for him to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. We'd love him to be Jaden Daniels. But
CJ Stroud.
let's have a reasonable expectation for the growth because everything is saying Titans are still in a rebuild. Seems like they got a good draft. They went after some things. I didn't see a tackle get taken, actually. We need a right tackle.
We got one in the free.
Did we?
We got a free agent, but he gave up the most goddamn.
Oh yeah,
sacks
the
and
kid from the
hurries.
Steelers.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit.
$80 million deal.
I feel you on the being happy if Cam Ward is like decent, but bro, a quarterback can turn shit around. I mean, just look at both Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, their teams. Bo Nix the year before.
I don't disagree at all.
The year before, like
Yeah, I
Houston
know.
was abysmal.
Yeah.
As an organization,
Yeah.
everything from
Right,
top to bottom.
right.
CJ Stroud comes in, they get a new head coach, they get Will Anderson and CJ Stroud in the first round, and just like that, bro, they are weapons.
That's fantastic. I don't disagree with those two examples, but we're talking about a massive sample size of a lot of first round quarterbacks, a lot of expectations. You can even throw Bo Nix in the mix.
I said,
Like,
I said Denver.
Oh, you do,
He
yeah.
said.
So, like, yes, that is great. I think a Denver step would be awesome. Like, you're in that playoff hunt at the end, like,
Yeah.
and you're kind of controlling your destiny. If they have a year that the Denver Broncos had this year, I think I sit there at the end of this 2025 season thinking, boys, we got something cooking. If I'm a Denver fan right now, I'm thinking we got something cooking over here, which is awesome.
It's truly on the feeling of the Q, man.
Right.
Again, when Houston got done, it's like we have a fucking quarterback.
You have a squad.
When Denver got done, like obviously Bo Nix had some growing pains earlier in the year and then got going in the back half of the year. It's like, Denver might be nice this year because they got a quarterback. Jaden
Right.
Daniels, you watch his year unfold as the rookie of the year. It's like we have a fucking franchise quarterback.
Right.
It's going to come down to like, if you feel at the end of the year, Cam Ward is our dude, no matter where that record kind of sits. Like if you're saying Cam Ward is that dude, you're sitting around maybe right over 500, but you're feeling great about the future of Cam Ward as your quarterback for a very long time.
If you as a fan are able to sit there in December, early December, and go, we can make the playoffs if
That's
we
good enough.
need to understand.
Yeah,
that should be the bare minimum expectation for the Titans this year.
I feel
that
like
is where you're like you're in a good spot. Because honestly, if I'm Washington, I'm more nervous than I am. I'm excited, obviously, because you have a quarterback, you have the franchise. Dan Quinn, he's incredible. But I'm also nervous because you went to the NFC Championship last year.
Yeah.
Like you're one game away from going to the Super Bowl, and to recreate that and do that again is very, very difficult to do.
It's very tough.
I'm in a very optimistic state if I'm the Broncos, as you know they're going to take a step up. As a Washington fan, you're hoping they do the same thing as they did last year.
But I think everybody in Washington knows that they overachieved in such a way. Like when they beat the Lions, it's like, man, this is David
crazy.
taking down Goliath.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think they have like that level of expectation
And
or that like level of awareness to where you're going to see what happens. But bro, imagine being on the squad, knowing that you got a quarterback in the room.
Right.
Like think about
Like,
your
we're gonna
vibes
be
right
straight.
now in OTAs.
I mean,
like, we
think
got
about
a
it.
killer under center.
Think about it. You brought in Tyler Lockett. I mean, that boy. Now you got two deep threats. Now you can even just throw a Hail Mary
Is he
up
still
for
a
him.
deep threat?
He's still like that. He just had
You
a
think
down
so,
season.
bro?
Yeah,
He's
I
more
do.
possession, that bro. He's like
He the bomb. You throw a bomb, he go
he's
get
like
it.
T.Y.
You know
Hilton.
he's gonna work, but
he's
it's
like T.Y. Hilton late in his
he's
career.
Old, bro.
It don't
He's
matter.
old.
He's old. Like I get it. You know,
But he's
everybody
still a
say this is a
stud.
graveyard. They like, oh, this is the graveyard for receivers. I don't think for him, no. And then bringing in Cam Ward, I think that opens up his door. I think that's gonna help him. I really believe that he's
They'll
gonna
be
have
up
a
both
bust out
because you
year.
got a veteran presence. The way they've talked about Tyler Lockett at Seattle over all the years that he's been there, as far as leadership, the way he shows up to work, everything, it's going to be a yin and yang. It's going to be great for Cam Ward.
Yeah, and he literally made a video, an actual video to every person who got drafted to the Titans.
Yeah, he
Lockett did?
tweeted at them all
Yeah,
too.
he's,
Yeah.
That's great. That's good
I
leadership.
think Lockett will be good for these wide receivers that we drafted that are
Yes.
similar builds.
Yep.
Dyke.
Dyke.
Strep-
Gotta
Well,
get
the
Dyke
big
shirts. We
toe.
gotta get Dyke
Yeah.
shirts.
I just think there's
Yeah.
gonna be a whole different dynamic in that locker room, and I'm excited to see.
I think
what
they
the
have to have
Titans-
success before the true dynamic shifts. I think they brought in good leadership. But think about like after the 2019 season, we sat there as like players and we're like, yo, we have a fucking squad.
Yeah.
Like we can go win this motherfucker for real. 2020, like I remember OTAs in 2020 being like, well, we actually didn't have OTAs in 2020, but like this going into the season of 2020 being like, we can really win all of it. And there's a different level of intention when you actually know your team can win it all.
Yeah, you believe it.
Yeah, you really when you really believe it. And that's where Washington's sitting right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
where these teams are sitting when you got like, yo, this quarterback is nice. And then you realize like your roster's good enough. Your quarterback's damn sure is good enough. You're like, you're moving throughout the offseason like you're ready to go win the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what
Right
these
now in the
boys
AFC
do.
South, FanDuel odds. Yeah, the Houston Texans plus 125. This is the future to win the AFC South. Texans plus 125, Jacksonville plus 270, Colts plus 350, and then the Titans plus 1,000.
God damn, we just get disrespect.
Hammer 1,000. I mean, you might as well.
Disrespect. I'm a hammer that. That's
Yeah.
disrespect.
I mean, bro, they were, I think, the worst team in the modern football era.
Yeah.
Out of these
we-
teams sitting up there, who you got winning the division?
The Titans, man. What the fuck? Come on. The Titans.
Sir.
Of course. Always the Titans, bro. I'm never gonna go against the Titans.
I wonder what their over/under wins.
Yeah,
I
probably
wonder if their over/under on wins went up after drafting
The draft?
Cam Ward. Because I like if it's like 5.5, 6.5, I feel
Could
you
you
gotta
imagine
hammer the over.
Cam Ward,
Rookie of the year.
just the juice and the swag that the squad will
And
have.
everybody in the stands gonna be doing that. Everybody in the stands gonna do that. They did it when they drafted him. When they drafted him, and people was doing that shit. I'm like, God damn.
1,000 times this weekend.
That's what everyone was doing it at the draft. I'm like, yo, this is
I
crazy.
do want to say to all Titans fans, Jack McPherson was the first Titans fan to get a photo with Cam Ward as a Titan.
Oh, I'll believe it.
And a tryout.
It was awesome, dude. Like Delanie was saying, he's a humble cat, but I'm pissed. We had footballs laying around, and I could have been the first player ever.
Player.
First player ever to catch a pass from the number one
He
overall
said
pick in the
player.
2025 NFL draft. But I got the photo with him. I'm so fired up about the Titan season. I'm ready to be hurt again. So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
I mean, I know you probably hurting after the Nico thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're over that. And it's going to be a Titans fall. I mean, the Vols too. We're not going to talk about it, Will.
Buddy, zero, I promise you. There's nothing in me wants to talk about it.
I know you guys aren't talking about, what would you guys talk about?
Nothing. I
Nothing.
don't even know why he would say anything like that.
Is this about the coffee thing
The coffee thing.
in Green Bay?
What happened there?
He's talking about at the
Oh,
Airbnb.
the ice
No.
latte.
I didn't know. I didn't want to bring up that. My bad.
No, I just, I think the Vols they're in a rebuild. Who knows? It's a Titans
GBO,
fall.
baby.
It's a Titans fall, and I'm fired up, dude.
GBO.
I'm so ready for football season to be here.
Bro,
week one,
yes,
week
I'm
one,
fucking
or
juiced
I don't know
up.
if we played away week one last year against the Bears, so I assume we'll probably have week one at home.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, and it could go all downhill after that. Like if we have one bad game, we're right back to where we started. But for about 20 minutes, right before pregame, flyover hits, national anthems going. Holy
Oh, it's
shit.
gonna be lit.
All
Hey,
your,
it's gonna be
all your same
He
game
goes, "Holy
all your
shit."
same game parlays are in. You're like, I'm about
Oh
to
my
cook.
God.
Hey,
I can't.
Do we go?
I'm there.
Should we go week
I mean,
one?
I'm
I'm
a
there
season
week
ticket
one.
holder, so I
I'll
will
be there week one. Y'all, I'll be there. I'm always there.
Bussin' field trip?
Out of the tunnel, bro.
I'm
We
always
got
there.
to be. We got to
The
be
whole
the,
stadium
We
gonna
got to
do
be the
it.
12th man and put the sword in the middle of the field. I know you've done it before.
Yeah, they want Taylor, but so everybody be like, "Why Taylor?" I say, "Man, look, he will be." I always try to put it politely.
I'm still an active NFL football player.
I say he will be when he got.
So what happened?
I was like, he will be. They be like, man, why Taylor never come with you? Why Taylor will never come? I'm like,
see him
it's
throw you in there?
situations. No, they always ask Will too, but they want to know, Will never be the 12th.
I'll be
man.
around when I can be around again.
That was unnecessary. You didn't like have to say that part.
Hey, I will be.
Trust me, I am aware and I know. Like,
That
you just don't have to say
was just a shot. That was just a shot. That was unnecessary.
To Titans
everyone.
fans, I will be back around when it's appropriate for me to be back around.
Yeah, and I
When
say
it's
that all the
appropriate.
time. I always say that.
Yeah,
all the
I got
time.
love for the Titans. I don't think they
Always.
win the division this year, but I got love for the
Wait,
Titans.
what?
I don't think they win the division this year. And I think that there's
like being realistic. Like I can't say nothing because I know how I am with the Huskers. So
I just know when Marcus Mariota
Yeah.
came his first year, we was dogs. The first year he got there.
first game.
Well, I got hurt. That's why.
Bro,
If I didn't get hurt, we probably would have kept going. I got hurt in the Tampa Bay game. Remember, I missed 2 weeks after that.
yeah.
Then I came back
but
and then we
what
started
about the
whooping
other,
that.
What about the
Then
other
we
four
started
we
whoop-
lost in a row?
We started
we
whooping.
won, bro. We won 3 games that year.
Oh, the first
so
year?
we started
Yes.
whooping.
The second year
Well,
we
it
were
was the
9 and
second
7.
year. Okay, the second
Nine,
year.
yeah.
3 and 13.
It was
I'm
one of
thinking
the
to myself, what the fuck is Delanie talking
It was one of
about?
those years, bro.
I will
Football.
say, when we get closer to this in the summertime, we get closer to the fall, I'll start waving the flag for the Titans. Logically, we got to sit there and be like, we're probably not going to win the division this year. I would love if we're fighting for that 6th, 7th playoff seed.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, sorry. sorry. That's what it is.
What do you think of the 5.5 games over under?
So last year, I hammered the overs at 4.5, and it did not hit.
Really?
But I love the fact that on the FanDuel Sportsbook, it's minus 135 right now
Wow.
for the over.
For the over.
Yeah, so that's telling everybody, hey, listen, we put it here, but it's probably over.
Yeah.
So I will be betting the over.
Yeah, I'll probably take the over.
And I
on that,
will.
too.
I am going to bet the future plus 1,000 of the Titans winning the division.
Where's the schedule out?
No,
No.
they do some bullshit. With
Schedule-
that. That's the most annoying part of the year.
Schedule
to me.
comes out, I think, like May 15th, May 18th. So then we can react about.
And I already want to give a shout out to the Chargers once again crushing it. They do the best on the announcements.
Yeah.
the best.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of people pissed.
think so sick.
With the Chargers, they had one person literally pissed.
Who's that?
The receiver from the Raiders. Now he in Green Bay. What's his name? No, he played with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got him.
Devontae Adams?
Devontae. Yeah, he had the Rams now.
Gotta watch your film.
I don't really catch up on the draft and stuff like that, boy, or the trades or nothing like that.
You just want to do? We feel good. Yeah, we feel all right. Oh,
Should we
just
do some
so you
shout-outs?
guys know, I just saw a report that Battle Camp is number 3.
Let's
Right
go.
Battle Camp number 3 on Netflix.
Yeah, I someone actually hit me up about that this morning. Like, I just saw your boy on Netflix. I'm like, yeah, man, that's dope that he did that, right?
Bro,
Like, yeah.
Wednesday, I still feel like this is fake. But Wednesday, we get off the plane connecting in Chicago, and 2 Asian chicks walk up to me and like, you're on the show. You're the host of the show, right? And I'm like,
you're
yeah.
on Netflix.
But they were so aggressive about it. I was like, this is not. Someone
set
set
up.
this up.
Was it a setup?
Real.
Was it
No,
a
was
setup?
real.
I was kind of hoping you guys would tell me. Was it a setup?
I have no.
Yeah, that was real.
Because that was wild.
We were all
The show just released that day.
It don't,
Something
it's
was- ain't no
Netflix though.
way.
You know they watching it.
I
They
know,
love
it's
these
crazy.
reality TV shows. Love them.
Love them, and it was fun. It was fun to do.
Yeah.
Shout out Tony.
Shout out Tony.
We're
The
getting him
boys
on the
are saying they
bus.
want to get Tony on the bus. Tony,
Bo,
Tony
shout outs?
But ain't he
probably-
from London,
Tony
though?
actually, when he was done, when he left the show in the middle of shooting, he's like, "Let me get on the bus." And I told him then, and I'll say it now. No,
Hey, ain't he from London or something?
no,
like that?
that's Louis. Louis dope too, but
okay.
Tony's like he lives in Miami. He's like 25.
Tony, you come on the back of the bus pod.
Yeah,
Tony can go on the back of the bus pod. Yeah,
First guest.
He's
Tony
a
be
legend.
funny as hell. Shout out Bo, free shout out.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Bojangles is the home of delicious chicken, scratch-made biscuits, legendary sweet tea, and amazing fixins. And they are a sponsor of Bussin' With The Boys. Bojangles Breakfast has the best biscuit sandwiches in the game, like the iconic Cajun filet. Bojangles Supremes are always a good choice, especially when paired with sauces like house-made ranch, honey mustard, and peach honey pear. The bus poll, as we do our shout-out, Bo Free shout-out, we will also go around and take a poll You'll give your shout out, and you also say if you are a drizzle boy or a dunk boy. Do you like to drizzle the sauce on your biscuit, or do you like to dunk your biscuit in the sauce? So just keep that in mind when doing the shout out shout out Bo free shout out.
And Bojangles hooked it.
Yeah,
Bo free shout out. And Bojangles hooked it up with the sauces too.
Yeah, they got lots of sauces over here.
Go ahead and throw some of those back there.
What y'all want?
Shout out Bo free shout out. You guys mind?
Honey?
If I go first?
Go for it.
Let me just pass this back to y'all.
My name is Will Compton, and my shout out Bo free shout out this week is going to go to Clay Matthews on the mic at the NFL draft.
Oh man,
that was an A+ troll, A+ delivery. Went viral, took the internet by storm. But that's my shout out. Bo free shout out is Clay Matthews on draft night having the opening mic. And again, my name is Will Compton. I would like to say that I am a dunker with my Cajun.
Can I speak on
filet
Clay? Will
biscuit.
never ever get to do that again.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's how you go. That's how you go out. One and done. One and done. Leave a legend. And make a moment that'll be remembered forever.
That had me dead.
Get in, get off, get out,
Yeah.
dude. Clay
That shit had me
Matthews,
dead,
he
bro.
was when he started because we're literally on the side.
I didn't know
of
where
the
he was
stage.
going with it.
He's like, I just got the phone with Donald Trump. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what is
Yeah.
he doing right now?
I was saying. I said, where is he going with this?
Crazy.
And then when he did that, I fucking died.
I will say too, I know you guys were talking about that, but I'm still thinking about the Cajun filet biscuit. Like when they say drizzle, are we talking like drizzle on the
Drizzle.
sandwich and then eat it?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I do like to like
Drizzle
do it as
on
I
top.
go. Drizzle like
Yeah.
drizzle as I go.
That's what they mean.
Drizzler? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a
drizzler.
drizzler. I'm a
Well,
drizzler. I'm a
yeah,
drizzler.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My name's Taylor
The old
Lewan.
drizzler. Sorry.
My name's Taylor Lewan, and my shout out, Bo free shout out this week goes to Kids Plays. I went to my kids play on Friday. Flew back from Green Bay early in the morning. I was a grumpy boy all day, but the acting in those things actually every single year has gotten a whole lot better. But they did a play on Finding Nemo. My daughter was a stingray. My oldest, Wynn, was a stingray, and my youngest was a dolphin. In the movie, there's one stingray and there's no dolphin. So there's all the little kids in the back, and they like do like these like sequence choreographed like hand gestures, which they were all off on, and they were singing pretty much just mouthing. I have a video of my youngest daughter yawning during it. I'm just like this, and they finished, and they're so proud of what they accomplished by standing on stage for an hour, and it was awesome to see. So shout out my kids play, and
That's what's up.
I'd like to say, for the most part, I'm a dunker.
Mm.
I think situationally, the drizzler comes in. Driving, what Will's doing right now. If you're sitting in a chair with nothing to really place, that's when you drizzle. But for the most part, I'm sitting at the counter. I order my Bojangles, my Cajun biscuit. I sit down at the table to eat it. I'm going to donk all day because you get more sauce that
Yeah,
way.
you
And everyone knows
definitely
I'm a saucy boy.
Yeah, sure. Y'all can go first.
All right, my shout out, Bo free shout out. Oh, first off, yes, I'm Garrett Hargis. My Bo free shout out is going to go to people that hustle for what they love. Shout out Jack Beebe. You guys stepped on that rug on the way into the bus. He made that. He reached out months ago, so this has been months in the making for him to get it here. Unfortunately, you guys were gone at the draft, but he came by, was stoked. He wants to make one for the locker room. So I want to just shout out guys that have something that they want to do, push to get it, and then, he was able to come. Yeah, make it happen. I told him, I was like, hey, hit up people. He asked me, he was like, I don't want to be the guy that hits people up too hard, but if I don't, then I didn't try.
Yep.
And so we had a good conversation, but I want to shout out Jack Beebe, and I'm a dunker for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
Shout out Jack Beebe.
Shout out Jack. That rug is awesome.
Yeah, shout
that rug
out him for
fucks.
sure.
I'm a big fan of that.
It's dope.
The small details that Bustin's got in the last couple of months is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty
These little
sick.
mic deals. That was Evan Koob, and then Jack Beebe. Jack
Beebe
Beebe with the rug.
He's a linebacker at Ball State. Will, he
Yeah.
was bummed you weren't here.
Yeah. Oh. You brought up fans that we love. I like to have a pet peeve.
Go ahead. Let it fucking eat.
Should I not?
I don't know.
Because I literally tried. I was gonna respond to him.
You're fueling the fire.
I know 2 times yesterday. I looked at it. I actually I wrote a DM to him, and bet just so you know, you're annoying as fuck.
You're
And-
talking about
Yeah, but I ended up erasing. Yeah,
BK?
I ended up erasing it and I ended up not sending the DM because I'm thinking he'll screenshot it and put it out. But I do feel that way. Like
Thing
this
is,
cat is fucking
He's gotten to a
annoying.
point to where I don't know if he's a tier 1 for the boys.
Yeah, but his
I
bio
know.
says tier 1.
I know,
I'm thinking
I know.
you're
It
such a
says
fucking
the
troll.
Tier 1.
He's not. Like
Not acting like it.
If I'm
as
having a
recent.
cookout and I'm inviting fans, he's not getting invited.
He's going to be devastated.
So basically, fuck that guy is what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna even say his name. Nah, dude.
That's
Hey, rule number 1 in the Lewan household: act like a bitch, get treated like a bitch. He's acting like a bitch.
even more. Shout out the good fans out there.
Shout out the good fans out there: Jared Beebe, Evan Coov, those boys that support.
Jack BB.
Jack Beebe.
And I'm drawing a blank right now. Who's our boy that's always at our live shows? Front row?
Caleb.
Caleb, yes.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about the unit?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
unit.
he's a dog. Shout out Caleb.
My name's Mitch Carsley.
You started this.
My shout out, no free shout out this week.
Whoa.
My shout out, Bo
No.
free shout out.
There you go.
My bad.
Attaboy Delanie.
Goes to Redemption.
Tell him why.
We were in.
Hey,
We were in,
who would have called this?
obviously we were at the draft this past weekend. There was there was a 40-yard dash thing there. I wanted to run it, and then all the boys were like, yeah, go run it for sure. I ran it, ran a 5.3.
537.
5.37. Obviously, I was pissed. Will, Taylor, they were just on my back. Like, bro, I can't believe it. Taylor, 3 hours later, bro, what's crazy is like, I've been thinking about it all day, thinking you were going to say something profound. Mitch really ran a 5.37. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, get off my back.
It was pathetic.
But then, yeah, it was awful. And then 3 hours go by. Like, literally, we're walking back to our Airbnb.
11:30 at night.
11:30. Place is closed down. There's nobody there. We're walking by, and I'm like, yo, I kind of want to run it again. And Will and Taylor are like, yo, go hot. Like, do it. Like, now's your chance if you want to redeem yourself. I had to hop the fence, got in that 3-point stance, and was out. Ran a 4.7. Did it again. Ran a 4.7 again. Mind you, pants. Been standing all day.
All day.
No cleats.
No warm up.
No warm up. Like, cold.
Long day.
Long ass day. And I was able to redeem myself. I went from the least athletic person on the bus after running the first one to, I would like to say, reclaiming my spot. It's the most athletic spot.
Reclaiming his spot.
But shout out, Bo Free shout out to redeeming yourself. And I am a dunker when it comes to my sandwich.
You dunked on us.
Wait, what did you run at your pro day, Will?
4.56
Oh, okay.
type shit.
I would like to think, and I would like to think if I were like training and shit, like I could get
A
down.
4.5?
Yeah. That's what I ran a 4. I ran a 4.56 in college. That is training and everything.
All right, man.
What's the hating for?
He's quick.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, no, I was impressed. I was impressed by it.
Say you're proud of him.
But
No, well, come on now. Like, I'm.
Go ahead.
How old are you?
26. What do we?
What
What's
do you?
the
Try,
issue?
what do you? What, what's,
like,
what's
I'm
the
not
thing
trying.
you're
I'm not
thinking
trying to
about?
say anything. I was just kind of rolling my eyes at the whole situation, like all of it. And you guys turned it into something.
You think you can run a 4.5?
I'm proud. Hand, yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying to get out
you
where
said
you're
hand
like-
time. Yeah, hand time.
Yeah. I was impressed. I was
But-
impressed.
I feel like there's a massive but. coming.
No,
Why
no
can't you
but.
just be happy for
Here's
them?
what I would say to you: future, figure out a way to be more confident in yourself about it, because you were wearing it heavy after that 5.37.
Well, yeah, because I'm not that slow.
Well,
And the Instagram comments were coming.
Oh, I'm sure they
crazy.
ripping you.
if you live
did.
by the cheers, you'll die by the booze, man.
100%.
Well, how was
but
he
I'm like,
carrying himself?
You know exactly the way Mitch does. It just took it like
What'd you do 3
Yeah, he,
hours?
he took it personal.
took it personal, but like he was pouting.
I
He was
wasn't pouting.
He was
I
pouting
wasn't
a little
pouting.
bit. He was pouting. And yes, did we pepper him a little bit more? No doubt, but that's what bros do.
I wasn't pouting. I was pissed. Like I was disappointed in
Yeah.
myself.
And your body language showed that you were disappointed in yourself.
I was like, come on, man. Like, just you, like that internal battle. Like, you're better than that. Like,
Yeah, he cares.
That's a lot.
Who cares? Listen, all the things. I'm proud of you. You came back. You got punched in the mouth early in the day. You got punched in the mouth.
Hard.
There were people, the lights were on, there was a laser, fans everywhere to watch you run. A lot of people at Bussin With The Boys fans were crowding around to see you run a 5.37. Nighttime, no one's around. It's what you do when no one's around that defines your character.
Yep.
And you ran a 4.7. You ran a 4.7. So are you proud of him? I just said yes.
Do you feel like Taylor's proud of you though, Mitch?
Not really. I feel like this is kind of like a backhanded compliment.
What do you mean, dude? You did good. I just said you did good.
Yeah, but like there's just this connotation that is like
I feel it
negative.
too.
All right. You know what? If everybody's feeling it, let me figure out a way to rewrite this. Mitch, you are very fast. Great job. End statement. End statement. That was very fast. That was really good. I was impressed. The most impressive thing to me was standing around for 5 hours. You said 3. It was way more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Way more. It might have been 8. Yeah. It might have been 8 hours for real because that was early in the day and we didn't get done till 11:30.
Yeah.
And then you took a challenge at 11:30. Didn't even stretch before, by the way, which is awesome for you. Sickening in my head because I'm thinking if I did that, I'd break. My shit would break.
Yeah.
So yes, very impressive. Proud of you. Can we go to Sherman now? Do you feel good? All right.
Hey guys.
There at the end.
My name is Sherman Young Jr.
Hey, Sherman.
Hey,
Hey, Sherm.
guys. My shout out, Bo Free shout out is the boys having your back. There was a situation where it was late
After Mitch ran.
After Mitch ran his 4.7, we were handing out some hats to some fans. One of the fans was a drunky boy, and he thought we were handing out Nebraska hats because he saw Will Compton. And so he slapped the hat out of my hand and yelled in my face, "Fuck Nebraska."
Wow.
And fuck you. And I have never seen a human react as fast as I saw Taylor Lewan come up to me and go, "Was he kidding? Was he kidding? Do I need to talk to him? What's going on?" Like it was all in Taylor's face of like, he was like, "I hated that. That guy disrespected you. I don't like that." And it's sick to see that from somebody. And then Mitch coming up to me later and being like, "Dude, I really want to apologize. I felt like I should have had your back more in that situation. I should have stepped up." And I was like, "You have nothing to apologize about. Like, it was totally fine." But the fact that the boys are like swooping in like that, that's a cool feeling.
You don't know the old Taylor.
Oh, yeah. No, I
handled
lied to
that with
Taylor.
grace. You handled that really well because that would have been a lot of conflict.
I think everybody knew that this dude was just blacked out. He was like one of 3 or 4 guys there, and the other guys knew who we were, and they were just fired up. They're like, "Hey, can you get a pic?" And the dude was like, "Who's this?" And it was like, "Oh man, I was the first one." He's like, "Oh, Will Compton." He's like, "Who?" And he's like, "Oh, he played in Nebraska." I want to say he might have been an Iowa fan, not the drunk guy, but the buddy that was wanting to get a photo.
Yeah.
And so everybody was really cool except for that dude.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Man, fuck Will Compton,
I don't
fuck
think
Nebraska."
I don't think you saw him slap the hats out of.
I saw it. I
You
saw
did.
it, and I kind of just sat there. I'm like, this dude is so, 9 sheets into
Thank
the wind.
God
Yeah, he was
like, I need
there
one of his
too.
boys to kind of like help him out, because this dude, like, he's at such a drunk phase where he's just wanting to cause chaos.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of like leaning sideways, back and forth.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
And then I want to say, he might have said like Michigan. Did he say fuck Michigan?
Maybe.
He was just
Yeah.
saying
Oh,
fuck
yeah, he
whatever it
started
was with our
chirping
group.
at
Yeah, he's
Taylor
just trying to
when he was
egg
walking
y'all
on.
Just
on.
one guy.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one
yeah.
guy who was,
Yeah,
And
that's
I
all
don't, I'm not
was.
swinging.
Yeah.
But I was just like, someone's got to say something.
Yeah,
to that
back
guy.
up. Get up out of
That
here.
was crazy.
It was
Yeah,
great.
I think I said something to his boys like, "Hey, get
I
your
would have
guy.
just checked
Yeah,
his
Get your guy and
pockets.
get him out of here."
I'm like, I'm checking your pockets because might catch you in the alley later.
Oh my God. Delaney went back to Crenshaw.
we
So
would
fast
have
right
had
there.
to talk to Delaney. I hate Delaney. Like, this dude has.
Delaney's
no
like that
fucking
too.
clue.
Yeah, Delaney rides for his boys.
Definitely.
Rides.
I would be like,
It was a cool feeling. It was a cool feeling. And then I don't want to speak for that guy. I feel like he's probably a dunker, the guy that slapped out of my hands.
Yeah.
I'm a drizzler.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think it's more of like what the sauce is in, because I got that honey packet, and I naturally just wanted to drizzle the honey packet. Whereas if it came in a cup,
good point.
I would dunk.
That's
Yeah,
smart.
the
I like
way
that.
it comes in changes everything. Because how are you going to
That's
dunk a
true.
packet?
You
Yeah,
can't.
Can't.
That's
Can't
unless-
dunk a package.
Unless you're the psycho that pours it all out.
Yeah, that's,
yeah.
That's a good.
Or like
hey,
Tommy Boy,
that's
where he just
actually
puts
a
the
good
fries in his
view
mouth
of
and
that.
then.
That's a good view of that. That's a good one. I like
That's
that.
good.
Thank you.
In 2, I just want to throw this out there. I think it also depends on the size of what you're holding. Like if
Yeah.
you have a cup, and especially like the smaller ones, the ones that are like this, and you got a fresh Cajun filet biscuit,
Yeah.
hard to dunk right away.
Yeah.
You might have to pour a little out, but once you get bites to where you now have edges,
Now
you
you
now
can
have
dunk.
angles,
Yeah.
and now you can start scooping.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
Now you can start
tough.
dunking and scooping.
That's a tough way to
Yeah.
answer that question because
Yeah.
you're correct.
Yeah.
on
There's so
every-
many layers to the dunk and
Yeah,
drizzle.
yeah,
Game within the game
Yeah.
yeah.
while you're playing chess, man.
Alrighty, guess it's my turn. I am Delanie Walker.
Hi,
Hi,
Delanie.
Hi, everyone. My shout out, Bo free shout out, is going to go to egg producers. And the reason why I say this, if you have never been in a chicken barn with 50,000 chickens and you have to check every water line, every feed line, and get rid of they poop and pack those eggs, dude, they go through a lot just to make sure everyone has eggs, healthy eggs, free range eggs. So shout out to them for doing all of that. I got to see that last week. I got to see that 2 days ago, actually, a chicken farm being ran and what they go through in the life and day of a chicken farmer. And it ain't easy. So shout out to those guys that make sure we have healthy eggs so we can feed our kids, ourselves. And yeah, you know what I mean? And then am I a dipper or a drizzler?
No,
It's
dunker.
A
Dunker.
dunker. Dunker. Well, the crazy part with me is I usually just pour the sauce onto the sandwich because then you get the
So you're a
variety
drizzler.
of everything. Is that a
I
drizzle?
guess you're a drizzler. Yeah. You're just a different variety of drizzler. You're a subcategory of drizzler.
Yeah, because I usually pour the ranch, the barbecue all together on a sandwich. So it's like, you remember that old commercial? It'd be like, if it don't get all over the place, it don't belong in your face.
That was not a commercial. That was a video you typed in on Pornhub.
What the fuck is he?
If it don't get all over your what?
I know it was a commercial back in the day. I'm just not gonna say the name because it don't matter what commercial it was.
But it was for sure a commercial.
It
that
was
said
for
that?
sure a commercial. All the fans, Bussin tier ones, tell them it was a commercial. That remember it
Sound
was
like
a
some
commercial.
Frank's Red Hot type stuff.
But we know you be on Pornhub now. Thank you for letting us know that.
Needs ID.
Huh?
You need ID to get on.
Yeah,
any
now
porn
you
site.
gotta
need
like
ID
sign
now?
up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And for the record, I'm not.
Then how you know all of this?
Because
Yeah, actually.
It's
then it
like
shuts it
somebody.
down.
It's like somebody when they start giving you all the information about OnlyFans, be like, "But I'm not on there." But how do you know?
Bro, I met a guy in Vegas that manages a bunch of OnlyFans people, and he was just telling me about the business. I'm thinking, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
Was he a dunker or a drizzler?
I'll ask him next time I see him.
He probably was a drizzler.
I'm honestly, I'm not a fan of pouring the sauce on the
Same.
sandwich.
Really? You don't
Yeah.
like to get it all over the
Because
sandwich?
what I don't like about it is I feel like it doesn't matter how much you put on there. It soaks into the bread, so you're not getting the experience of tasting the sauce that you would like.
Could not have said it better myself. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Because
I'm
I
a
think
slob.
you drizzle in the beginning if you have a massive Cajun filet biscuit in your hand. You do drizzle the first one, but you're really taking a big enough bite to where you're kind of working off corners the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Because I am all about my sauce.
Because even when you're
Yeah, I'm
eating,
a
like
sauce
even
guy.
say I'm eating a burger and I'm eating the burger and I'm at ketchup and mayo, I'll just in my head think like I need more of this, what I'm tasting. And I thought I did a good enough job to where I'll just put ketchup and mayo, mix it together and just start dipping it.
I will say
Really?
sandwiches and burgers, they need to have a sauce already in there. If you do ketchup, mayo, mustard. But then after that, I need my extra sauce, whether it be ranch or extra
Yeah.
ketchup or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
to dunk as well.
I usually just get like I'm gonna prefer to make like McDonald's the mac sauce. I need extra mac sauce on everything. Like
That sauce does fuck.
that shit go hard. I can't I won't eat a burger without. You can actually buy like not the actual mac sauce, but some similar. I put it on
I think
everything.
it's Thousand Island, right?
Is it?
Something like
Yeah, I think it is.
It's got some other stuff in it though, like relish, right?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I go to In-N-Out Burger, dude, you get a couple extra
They
sauces.
sauces.
Yeah.
animal style.
Let me get a couple more of those sauces.
Huh?
That's burger. That's nothing to do with
Hey,
chicken.
sorry, we got it too.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for being vulnerable with us on Both Free Shoutouts.
Huh?
Thank you.
Thank you for being vulnerable.
Oh yeah,
with
of course,
us on
man.
Both
You
Free
know, I
Shoutouts.
like to be criticized on certain things. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's how you communicate.
you're probably criticized
man.
on your the way you eat sandwiches.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So
I
you're
think a
gonna-
lot of people do it that way.
Fair
you know?
enough. Fair enough.
And even if they do,
Why
do
the
you think
fuck you put who put that picture up?
I mean, bro, you were fucking jacked.
I was
Look
just
at that.
handsome, you know. That's handsome right there, boy.
That arm looked crazy.
Hey, I have a question before we kind of wrap this thing up. There is a question that is storming Twitter currently, and I need everyone's perspective. And we've kind of discussed it in links, but not specifically this. 100 men versus one silverback gorilla. Who wins?
gorilla.
Wait, what is it? What
It is just a bare knuckle fight.
Oh, bare knuckle.
100 grown men versus one full-grown silverback gorilla.
Damn, that's a tough
I got a couple
one.
questions.
Yeah.
How big are the people?
How big are the people?
How big are the men? Yeah.
We'll just get your average guys, 6 foot. I mean, you know,
Average
just
is
your,
6 foot.
or
just-
you know, just your a population kind of estimate. So you got a couple guys y'all size, you got a couple guys our
Okay,
size.
all shapes and sizes.
All shapes and
Got a couple
How
sizes.
bought
Jareds.
in are my 100 boys? Because if it was 100 of me, looking at the
That's
silverback,
not up to anybody, I think, to give you. It truly comes down to the moment of the man.
We're not building a 300 army.
Like,
Yeah.
just take our crew
Would
and
be nice. I would
multiply
take
it
that.
by whatever, 12, 13, 14.
The main argument
Okay.
for the silverback gorilla is the first motherfucker going in there is getting his neck snapped. So who is going to be willing to die?
I think you just bum rush that motherfucker.
So you think
have
you're
to.
saying the 100
Pull up a
men would
video
take
of a
the
silverback
African-
gorilla
Yeah, if
fight
we
him.
go out all at the same time, we got to hit them at the same time. If we all
I'm
hit
going
them at
100
the
men.
same time, I think we get them.
Ain't no way in hell, bro. Gorilla's taking down all 100.
I watched a video of 2 silverback gorillas fighting each other. I ain't no way.
Bro, there is no way, man. The strength of these, they can lift like 2
And
to
their
4
teeth-
ton over their head.
Their teeth
I
are like
know
And
that-
think of how just tough
Yeah, their
their
teeth are
skin
so
is,
underrated.
everything.
Which-
And what dude, like people can say, yeah, if we all go in, but who's gonna be the one, the several that's going at him from the front? And like you're gonna fold when you get that. Like people are gonna die.
Yeah, but
Are you willing to die to take down this gorilla?
You gotta
and
think
all
about it.
100 men have to be on that same page.
See, the way
and
I-
I'm saying, hey, yeah, not joking around. I'm ready to die out bucket. No, you get in this room and this gorilla walks out of the fucking gate. The gate closes. All right, who's ready to step up and actually go attack this motherfucker?
Okay, now I'm looking at it. If it's 100 Americans, gorilla. If it's 100 goddamn Africans, I'm talking Africans that be in the goddamn jungle. I'm thinking them Africans is taking them down. They've done it. They have to. If them gorillas come into their
They got to do it with like weapons. With traps
I
and
mean,
shit.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking.
yeah,
there
yeah.
ain't nothing in the room except you guys and the gorillas.
Yeah.
That
Could you
fear that's
imagine
going to
if you were not on
enter.
this bus and we said that?
Said what?
I think
Africans?
it's just us. Yeah.
Africans? Y'all can
Bro.
say Africans. Now, if you say
Hey, what's that
Contextually,
pregame
we
speech
cannot.
look like? Like, what's the pregame speech to the 100 guys?
You sit there, you're probably
That's the
pretty
if
honest.
we die speech.
yeah, we die. Shit. At the
I
end
mean,
of
buddy,
the day.
if the way I view this is like a Coliseum-esque thing. Like you have 100 guys walk in, and it's either going to be you or the gorilla, and that fight or flight's going to take over. And I think at that point, you all have to band together and just.
But
get
how
after this
can we
gorilla.
hurt them though with our bare hands? That's
Can't.
what I'm
Gouge his
confused.
eyes? Gouge his eyes.
But
He
the
may rip
strength
your
grab his
face
nuts.
though. You get close enough where he can grab you or bite you.
Even if 100 dudes try to like dogpile him, that's not doing anything.
Yeah,
I disagree.
man. Look
There's
at
gonna be
this
so much
dude.
screaming.
Look at
Yeah,
these
hey,
cats.
you're not lying. That first guy goes in there, you watch him get snapped into. You're going, oh.
That's why y'all got to go in at once.
That's
You
what. Yeah,
can't watch.
even the first. But even
Well,
when
yeah,
you're
not
approaching
going
him,
mono 100.
Who the hell came up with that scenario?
bro, it
Twitter.
was the guys versus gorilla or bear versus gorilla. I feel like it's a conversation that's been.
Yeah.
It's as old as time.
Yeah,
I remember sitting in when we were in Washington, we talked about like 50 guys versus a gorilla because we're sitting there with like it's like me, Trent Williams, several people talking about it, and it's legitimately like there's no way in hell you can take 100 Trent Williams, like you ain't
Yeah.
taking down the gorilla, bro.
and they
His
call
nickname
Trent
is Silverback.
Silverback. Yeah. So
I think a bear takes a gorilla though.
Yeah, I mean a
Be
bear
a good
could.
one.
I
it'll
think-
be a
I
good
think-
fight
yeah.
because I've done seen bears
Main
get
card.
Main
cracking.
card. Co-main
the
event's
claws on a
100,
bear,
100
too.
on one.
So y'all, you think in the Coliseum they probably had that fight before? Back in the Coliseum, back in the day, a gorilla and a bear. I'm assuming they had
You
that
think
fight.
so?
You would think so.
You would think so. I mean, they were like famous for bringing exotic
Yeah,
animals from all over
exotic
the
animals
world.
to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm taking the people though. I'm taking the people. 100 people.
I'm gonna
Gorilla.
probably take the gorilla day on that one. It's hard
Yeah.
to see it happen.
I'd lean gorilla for sure.
Bro, think about exhaustion. Think about. I just think
You just seen that
It's
gorilla.
a good fight.
What about 100 Jared Beemans?
Gorilla.
Twice on Sunday.
And it's not close.
You take 100 Taylor Lewans?
Like, watch this man walk up to these gorillas. These Africans, they not scared of the gorillas. Like, everybody, they walk right up.
These Africans, the whitest lady ever.
No, it's an African leading the pack. He telling her, stay back.
You are so funny.
You can film right here. You can film right
He
here,
said,
but
"Stay
don't
back."
get close. They smell your ass. It's over for you.
I mean, look at them fighting.
They not even worrying about the people who just looking at their ass.
Yeah, I took 100 Will Comptons.
I wouldn't.
I took 100 Delanie Walker.
Because I know
Not
in
right
my
now.
head, like if we're all in that room, the fight or flight, the fear, like it's like, all right, which one of us motherfuckers is going, and are we all staying together?
After I say
Because they
about
bink you, they bink you one, they start dragging people, shit,
Yeah.
limbs are getting broken, yelling's happening.
Tossing you.
It gets a little lighter.
tossing you,
With 100 guys, everybody's kind of getting exhausted trying to get to the grill, and it's like, fuck, hey, he's taking us out quick. Bing, bing, bing.
I'm gonna just lay
Bro,
down.
I don't think he's bing, bing, banging. I think it's overwhelmed. And I think 100 bodies on top, you're going to get that gorilla down. You're going to have him.
Are we choking them?
Bro,
Like,
you get him a circled.
biting.
You circle that motherfucker, and he's looking around in all different directions. And then right there, I'm on his back. Now another guy's on his back.
Dead.
Someone's grabbing a leg. Arm, gouging eyes. We're gouging
It's gonna
eyes.
be
One dude's by his
casualties, though.
nutsack just cranking on that
That's what I
motherfucker.
mean.
There's gonna
pulling
be
it
some
down.
casualties though,
Bro,
for sure.
You are
yeah.
you're, but I think it's actually a lot easier than you think.
I mean, I'm biting him. You gotta
I
play
think
his
50
rules. You
50
gotta play
guys-
his rules.
yeah, you
gotta
biting his
You
ass.
gotta
Play
say-
his rules, man.
Dude, you're shoving a fist up his ass. You're doing whatever you gotta
it
fucking do to
takes.
take this guy
Yeah.
out.
No, it's true.
You're fish hooking that lip. He's trying to bite. You
I'm
grab
biting
that
him
motherfucker
too.
over
Shit,
there.
I'm gonna bite his
And then
hand.
you got a couple of guys just get that esophagus. You fucking shut the fuck
Go
up.
to sleep,
Shut the
motherfucker.
fuck up.
Go
you
to
know?
sleep.
You gonna win. You're
They
going
said
to
300 to 45, 300,
Think about
350 pounds to
450
40.
pound
Oh my
gorilla.
God.
They can lift 4,500 pounds.
Oh, yeah,
over
they
his
can lift
head,
10
bro.
times over their body weight.
We're talking about balance. We're talking about strategy, the brain, dude. We're talking about brain
I
strategy.
mean, these
too.
motherfuckers lifting up cars
Right?
and shit.
You get him
yo.
around. You go 25, 25, 25, 25, right?
Christ.
Couple guys, ha 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 ha. Get him going. Get him to come over here, and then all of a sudden they get quiet. 25 more. Now he's getting tired.
You right.
He's breathing hard. Then you get.
It's
you
a strategy.
Strategically, you're not
Yeah.
just gonna go in there and be like, "Who's fucking see what happens?" Like you're going after this motherfucker.
The humans
You're
may
going
win.
after
No,
him,
he
bro.
right. The humans may win if you come in with a strategy. If you come
I
in
don't
with
give a
strategy,
fuck about his teeth, bro. I'm telling you.
You think the
that's
gorilla's
scare
just gonna sit there and go,
That's
ah,
scare
and then keep
tactic.
looking around? No, he's gonna go
he
after
gonna go
somebody.
after
You got
one of them.
100
But
then he gonna be like,
men.
oh shit,
we
hey,
can run.
yeah,
It ain't no rules.
you
can
get it.
run, tire him out, run from him.
Right.
Come, keep on
Right.
gathering them. Run every time he chase one. Run. He gonna stop. You gather him in again until he tired.
Right.
I believe
We're
the
talking about
strategy.
hours. We're talking about hour process.
This you didn't say
We're
how
not
long
bum
the
rushing
fight
from the beginning.
was.
And guess what? I've already evolved from the beginning thought process that I thought we were gonna win.
Yeah.
Now he's running after me. Will's grabbing his legs.
Yeah, fucking with him.
So he's coming at his ass, and then all of a sudden Delanie's in the corner.
Yeah.
Bro,
He just
you get-
swings the arm. He's killing 4 guys
Dog,
just swinging
what
his
do you
arm.
think is attached to his elbow? Like this shit's gonna hurt, but like he's not killing. He's not going like this, and people are dead.
He ain't the
That's
fucking.
the crazy.
It's not the
Will just
movie
think-
where he got
Will
a metal
literally just
hand and
thinks-
Godzilla.
He's just
This
gonna
guy
swing
just
that
got like
shit.
He
the
did-
golden
he's
gun
a-
in James Bond.
Yeah,
Pew,
he
pew.
talking about like he talking about like Godzilla and King Kong when he got the fucking arm and
you're
shit.
getting this guy so exhausted. At some point, you're just fucking body shotting this motherfucker, dude. You're fucking. You're putting him in there.
He got remember he almost like
just in there.
I ain't doing none of that.
Shots to the
I'm gonna be
gut.
the runner.
Bro,
I'll be the
I'll
runner.
tell you this. I was just trying to imitate the
100
gorilla a
dudes,
second ago, and I was
gorilla
getting a
in
little
this
tired.
room, in the shop.
In
Huh?
the shop,
In this shop.
nah, fuck that. Now you putting doors and fucking
Just
walls
the space,
up.
just the size
Well, yeah, I don't like that. Now,
Well, you want open field?
I want open
You're
field
just
because
saying
we got to
you're
tire
in
him
the
out.
jungle.
No, he'll run away.
He
Okay,
won't
yeah,
run
that's what I'm
away.
saying.
We
You're
got to
just
gather him
You're
in.
just hunting
Put him
at
in
that
Nissan
point.
Stadium. Put him in Nissan Stadium. Lock the gates, and then put like a tent,
Oh, yeah, that's
net
different.
over.
Yeah, that's
now,
different.
Now I got movement. I got.
And here it is
range.
too
Yeah,
small.
yeah,
He
no,
getting us
dude.
and dragging
This
us
is a
in
whole
here.
different ball
Yeah,
game.
yeah, no,
You're gonna
it's too
tire him
small
out
here.
to the point where he's gonna go fight or flight. He'll be. There's a lot of these motherfuckers out here. I'm getting a little
taking off.
tired.
Yeah.
I gotta back up a little bit. He goes net. Tries to go up the net. Hey, buddy, you stay up there as long as you want. Guess what? I got my boys calling up.
Yeah,
now,
we
too.
coming up next
Calling
one.
up. He's
Kicking him.
freaking out, trying to bite. Sorry,
Yeah.
brother. I'm fucking.
Yeah, we
I'm boot
kicking him
fucking
off.
your ass
Yeah.
down there.
Sleeping on a
Guess
gorilla.
what? He just fell 30 feet. Now got a rib. That one's
Yeah.
broken. And guess what? And guess where?
There was a net on top.
Yeah, he
climbed
climbed the net.
all the way up.
You got to
That's what
follow
he
the
said.
story, G. Now we're fucking. We know we're sure because he's grabbing a little bit. He's grabbing a little bit with that fucking rib, right? He's grabbing that fucking rib a little bit, so we know. Oh,
Dude's
okay.
just breaking their wrist on the gorilla.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
He's got. Do you think this is like fucking Kung Fu Panda over here, the skadoosh? Yeah. This motherfucker acting like this gorilla just gonna go out of here and just look at us and go, ha, and we're gonna die.
He's just gonna snatch you off. Guys are
Snatch,
running.
bro.
If guys are running, pods are just getting murdered and killed.
Hey, new game, buddy system, teams of 4, right? One of our boys get grabbed. We got 3 of them on that motherfucker, and he's already
Ain't
got the
no
cracked
3
rib.
going in.
I
There ain't
know,
no
but-
4-on-1 going in on a
telling
gorilla.
you.
Look at the PSIs of his bite.
Yeah.
He is literally only 400 PSIs under a shark bite.
Which a shark could bite you in half.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's over,
They rip you
man.
apart.
Over, bro.
How many times have you ever seen a shark bite somebody have? They gotta do this.
Well,
They
yeah,
gotta do
they
this.
rip
That's time. You gonna do that? You doing that, bro? That is time. I'm telling you. And
That
this,
bite
dude,
gonna
y'all
be
talking about?
Hey, Taylor's
Yo-
gonna bite the grill. All the veneers are gonna rip out.
Yeah, I'd be
His
a bad
skin probably
example.
tough,
I'd be a
too.
bad
That
example.
I mean,
I'll be a bad example. That's a good moment. Also, just computed that because my human brain. This dude's got what 1,300 to 1,400 per square inch of bite. That's called maximum velocity. Think about maxing out reps, bro. He's got 3 or 4 hard bites like that.
You right.
I had 3 or 4 motherfuckers grabbing their
Delaney,
arm.
you right.
3 or 4. I got so now I got 97, 96 dudes. He's running out of gas in the jaw category. Guess what? One of his weapons are now gone.
Yeah.
And that's gonna take a lot of fucking velocity.
Yeah.
We've got him. It's not close. I would even almost take 75. I'm telling you,
I want
strategic.
the extra.
I'm strategic, bro. Did I not just paint a picture for you guys to think, yeah, they actually got a shot?
Yeah, and we all were shaking our head.
Bloody.
Yeah.
It was bloody, no doubt. We're gonna have casualties. That's life, boys. Bam, 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 bam. That is life.
Yeah, a few
But-
people going.
You get them. Like if you walk in, you're like, hey, where are we going? And like, I'll just come with us real quick. We gotta take you somewhere. Oh, what's this tunnel about? I just keep going out there. Hey, what's that noise? Don't worry about it. You walk through. They close the gate. There's 100 of us. Hey, you have 25 minutes. A gorilla's coming in here. You guys got to beat that gorilla. Gorilla's gonna kill all of you guys. I guarantee 100 motherfuckers are getting there in their stations, ready to rock, ready to
Shaking.
shaking.
Wondering, like, okay, who's actually going to be the first one to go?
And then you know what I'd say? I get up there and be like, boys, some of you are gonna die. That is what. If we die, we fucking die. What I would say to you, get the first hit out of the way. Cause yeah, you're gonna be nervous. I'm nervous every time I put my hand on my heart for the national
Taylor
anthem.
going out there to get the first
I
one.
mean,
out
that
the
kind
way.
of makes sense. They say it's impossible
Yeah, oh, I'm
for us to
Superman.
win
I'm
without
going. I mean, I'm
tools.
probably not.
They say it's impossible for us to win without tools, using tools or weapons.
Oh, what? This dude just made a Kevlar?
Is
This
this
dude's made a fucking-
ChatGPT?
Might as well. Yeah.
But this what is he? A bomb shelter gorilla?
Nah,
Like,
I
ain't no
mean, they
fucking
got
way.
tough skin though. You gotta remember that, like, they skin is extra fucking tough.
Who wrote this?
ChatGPT,
Yeah,
man.
they don't know shit, dude. They're still working through the kinks of ChatGPT. It's so new. You can't give a ChatGPT a hypothetical, bro. You ask it
That's
for
wrong.
facts. I'm taking 100.
Damn, who said that?
Sherm did.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
And yeah, I'm sorry if my response did not meet your expectation.
him,
If
you
there's a
don't know
different
shit.
perspective or approach you'd like me to take.
Should we get to LaFleur?
No. Type this in, Sherm. How do the 100 people beat the gorilla with no tools?
yeah, see what he say.
He's gonna say you don't.
The ChatGPT said
It's
that.
gonna give us some type of information. They gotta always have some.
Ah, got it. Overwhelm with numbers. We already did that. Divide the gorilla's forces.
Yeah.
Just
Use
a
of group psychology.
Just be mean to him. You gotta insult this gorilla.
Target the weak spots.
Right. That's what we're talking about. The rib shot he took when he fell 30 feet from the net. Exploiting gorilla's natural limitations. Right. He's gonna get tired.
He's going to get
Final
tired.
thoughts.
Yep,
Will, what's your-
endurance.
Yep.
Yeah, but we can't believe ChatGPT.
Would
You said that.
Still heavily favor the gorilla. I don't like that.
Yeah, in a
However-
real world scenario.
Yep.
This
in a
kind of
purely
fight would still
theoretical
heavily
sense,
favor
if
the
humans
gorilla.
were able to keep the gorilla distracted, work in sync, and use their numbers to exploit the gorilla's weaknesses, they might have a chance. They said
might have
they
a
said
slim chance of winning.
Slim chance of winning. Still, fuck. I'm not reading any more of that.
It's
You know what I
dangerous.
heard?
It's a
You know what's going through my head right now?
challenge.
Slim
so you're
chance.
saying there's a chance.
Yeah, it's a chance.
I'm taking me and my boys any day of the week. Maybe I'm more of like a foreman, like a general. Like I'll be behind the net. And this is what you guys should do. There's 100 of y'all.
101.
You guys should really 101 supporting. 101 supporting.
You the king sitting on the hill like, We're gonna win this war.
Sir, we have to pull back. No. All right, let's get to LaFleur, dude. Let's get to LaFleur. Let's get excited about it.
We interrupt this episode to bring you Simply Safe. There's not a price that you can put on protecting your family, protecting your kids, or that new car in the garage. Traditional security systems only take action after someone has already broken in. That's too late. Simply Safe is setting the new standard in home security. With Active Guard outdoor protection, Simply Safe's monitoring agents can help prevent break-ins before they happen. AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents monitor your property and detect suspicious activity. If someone's lurking around or acting suspiciously, those agents see and talk to them in real time, activate spotlights, and even contact the police, helping to proactively deter threats before they can escalate into a crisis. More than 4 million Americans use and trust Simply Safe. You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/bussin. Again, that's simplysafe.com/bussin. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Back to this episode. We're starting. So
Let's
we'll go
start
ahead.
the podcast. Let's start.
This interview is brought to us by the one and only Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Stock up now on Bud Light and head to www.budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL, the NFL Draft, where we are currently at, Tight End University, the UFC, and Shane Gillis' 2025 tour. And their partners include The Boys, Peyton Manning, George Kittle, Baker Mayfield, Emmitt Smith, Shane Gillis, Post Malone, and Dustin Poirier. We have a very special guest.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Just Matt LaFleur, Coach Matt LaFleur.
Thank you, guys. Hey, Will, you can't memorize that?
I probably can, but when it's just sitting there, it's like, might as well
You
just
read
go ahead.
well.
Take advantage.
Thank you.
You
He reads
definitely
good.
got your education in
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
No doubt
What's the N stand for?
Knowledge.
That's right. That's why we get it done there,
you know,
man.
they say the same thing about Northern Michigan University.
Really?
The N stands for knowledge. Yeah.
There you go.
Everybody just trying to
Robert
copy the
Saleh.
Huskers.
Yeah,
You
it's
graduate?
copycat league.
Yeah, it's a copycat
It's a copycat league.
It was funny when you were when we were talking about the having my hand and everything. When I was in Oakland or Vegas, my linebacker coach, like every game, I'm like dapping somebody up from the other team, like on the side during pregame warm-ups, and he's always like, "I feel like you could just be the mayor. I feel like you know somebody everywhere we go to."
Yeah.
And we'd have a nice little laugh about it. But I did feel like once I got to the back end, like I was more just having the greatest time I possibly could.
Yeah, I mean, you were afforded the availability to be playing at the highest level you can in the sport you love the most, while also not caring. And I think that is
No, he
special.
cared. He cared.
Yeah, he cared, but it
cared
was
so
like-
much. This guy had the greatest punt sets I've ever seen.
That's all
Mike
we
Vrabel
needed.
needs to hear that.
Vrabel has always coached me different. Like, you know, there's some different things fundamentally that
It was
if
all
I
this.
was,
It was
if I,
all this.
yeah, if I was a
Well,
special
he
teams
just
coach,
lacked a little length.
yes. And Vrabel it was always about the punch. And for my length in my arms, like I needed the guy to be in a little tighter so I could finesse him a little bit. Because if I'm just trying to release, most guys are going to run with me downfield. So I need them to kind of be in my body versus shocking them.
Right.
Because usually I got the T-Rex on.
When they're like, use length.
so you got
T-Rex
Yeah,
arm.
Versace will
not
tell
a,
you.
You're the
not a
opposite
great
guy.
quality in a player.
not a great quality.
That's something that
man.
we always look at, that arm length.
Ray wouldn't even let me on punt return. I've talked about it before, but I couldn't even like be on punt return because they just talked about my arm length.
Punt return.
Yeah.
Is it that
more
important?
athleticism or?
No, bro. That's like it's like, you know, getting them at the line of scrimmage. We do those
I'm
one-on-one.
I'm with you.
Remember when we do those one-on-ones in front
I
of
was
all
over
the
getting murdered by Keith Carter.
But I'm saying at training camp when Vray would shut it down and you do the one-on-ones like in front of everybody. Do you do that with Green Bay?
No,
It's not something you do with Green Bay.
no.
I love that.
I always feel like it got the blood flow going. Like, fuck, you got to kind of.
The stress of having the team watch you do a one-on-one. I don't think you could replicate that in any other scenario other
So
than
you're
other
saying
than
we should
war.
do that a little bit more this year?
I think
No,
it's good for
I mean-
competitive juices.
Okay, that's good to know.
I do. Like,
But if you're a young guy and you know you're about to be called up, like,
Yeah.
usually the like
Yeah,
your
we
position
do
coach
that.
comes
We're
in
not
and
gonna do
goes,
that to some of the
you might-
vets, but
yeah,
yeah,
you
certainly.
might come up
to
to
that.
that.
Pressure
You might be
on,
one of those
see how
guys.
they respond.
Because usually you do one-on-ones, but you're always broken up where it's stations. But when it's like the head coach calls it up and he's calling out different guys, you're sitting there in line being like, yo, is he about to call my number? And you just got that little bit of anxiety.
A little bit. It's a lot of it.
Yeah.
It is a lot. But I think the reason why you had the relationships with everybody is your time with the Redskins. And that's where you come into play. Because
That's where the nucleus of like the
coaching
entire
staff,
league is
I
right
know.
now.
It's incredible.
It is
so
incredible.
everywhere was
And
like,
we
oh
got
yeah,
fired.
he was there, he was there.
We got fired.
That is, how did it not work out there with that many brains?
Well, I think it just goes to show you the power of the player. I mean,
You put the mic up a little.
no.
The power of the player.
Yeah. You got to have great players in order to have success in this league. And not to say that we didn't. For whatever reason, it didn't come together.
Mm-hmm.
We had the one good year in 2012 where we won our division and lost to Seattle in the playoffs. Robert tore his ACL, and the next year was a complete disaster. I think we went 3-13.
Yeah, that was 3-13.
We got just smashed by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
And there was that's when I knew it was all over.
that's
After
when
that game.
who is it, Coach
You
Burns?
knew you guys were done after that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and you didn't get retained by the group.
I did not.
Got you.
No.
because a few of them did.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry to.
Sean did.
Yeah,
Sean, Raheem, there's a couple guys,
that's right.
but not many.
Yeah, not many survivors.
No. That's kind of the way of our, it's the way of our profession.
Yeah, how does that ever eat at you a little bit? Like knowing that the NFL stands for not for long, and you're just
No,
a head coach and
I
any
do
moment
think
could be
it-
over.
I just think that if you're smart about it, it just ups your urgency level. You gotta be urgent in everything we do, and you can't take it for granted. Even when you feel like you have a good team, like to me, that's when you have to push even more. So you can't let anybody kind of get complacent or rest. And so yeah, but that's it. But it's the beauty of our league too. Just the competitiveness. I don't think there's.
That can't
The
be
hell
good.
is
That
that?
was right above your head too. That kinda scared the shit out of me.
What do we got up there,
I don't
guys?
know. We got like rats or something.
What kind of
upstairs.
place are we renting here?
I don't know. Josh Jacobs stayed here when he first got here.
I know. That's what Will was
Alec
telling me.
Ingold, he texted when he saw a video of ours posted last night. He's
Yeah.
like, "This is the spot I run out every
That's
time I
so
come to
wild.
Wisconsin."
Well, I mean, shoot, it's nice and convenient. Lambo's right
That
across
is
the
crazy.
street.
That's
It's an interesting setup here for
Dude,
sure.
it's a cool town. It's
It
like
is.
knowing that you just kind of like drive in this small town, then out of nowhere, Lambeau Field just pops
Yeah.
up. It's kind of the center of it all.
Yeah, it's like this
It
town
is.
revolves around the fall and then preparing for the fall. Like all the other seasons is like I can't wait for August to get here.
It's got to be nice for a head coach knowing that there's not as many distractions.
There's zero distractions. So, like, if you can't get the most out of somebody here, I don't think you can do it anywhere. I love it personally because we don't have a lot of issues with our players, and our guys can focus on football. I know even for me, and I think our coaches, you could say the same thing for. I mean, you focus on your job and your family.
Yeah.
Josh was telling us about your schedule. You got to love schedule. Wednesdays getting done at like 3:00.
Is it that early?
That's what he says.
Put it like
I-
this. He was giving you a lot of praise. He said if there's one thing, he understands the efficiency.
The efficiency
And we
of
are
time.
efficient.
Well, that's the only thing in life you can never get back is time, right? So I try to make it just expedited as best we can, and I don't want to drag the days out. I want our guys to get in, get their work in, and then get out, go recovery, do what you got to do. But there is an expectation. I expect these guys when they go home that they're not just shutting it off.
Mm-hmm.
That however you got to prepare to get yourself to get ready for the next day, that's the expectation. So you do put a lot of onus on the players.
If you were in a spot like LA or Las Vegas, do you think you'd make the days a little bit longer because of all the
Maybe.
distractions? Right? You hear it's like, what are they going to do? Yeah.
Probably.
What are they going to do? Go to Buffalo Wild Wings, have a couple of drinks? Like, what do
Hey,
we-
shout out B-Dubs.
Shout out B-Dubs.
Shout out
It is-
B-Dubs.
We had it last night. It's
So
fantastic.
B-Dubs is open right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Smacked
B-Dubs is
some
open
wings
right
last
now.
night.
You've been around a lot of amazing coaches. Which coach do you feel like you've gotten the most from as far as like your frameworks, protocols?
There's been too many good ones. From Mike Shanahan, just the attention to detail, and I mean that guy his focus was on another level. To Kyle, just he's never happy with anything, but I think that makes you better at what you do. I mean, you always feel that urgency, that pressure and you better think things through before you bring him an idea. Otherwise, you're probably going to get your face ripped off. To Sean was great with accountability. Dan Quinn, just kind of like our culture and our environment, a lot was shaped from just being around him and making it a place where people enjoy going to work. And so I think you take something from everybody. Vrabel was good to, I mean, he's going to put the most on the best players on the team. And you guys know that. And he's going to demand the most out of the best. And so I think you learn from everybody.
I want you to tell the story of the locker room at halftime with Taylor and Vrabel.
Yeah.
This was against the Jets, right?
I think it was the Jets game.
Because they tried to bench Quentin Spain. And I was so mad because Spain was hurt or might have been hurt or thinking about being hurt. He had something going on. But there was no other guard. And I was obviously, Spain at least, at the very least, trusted me. And I could trust Spain to do the things I needed him to do. So Keith went to Vrabel and was like, we got to get Spain out of here. He's not playing well, blah, 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 blah. And then I went in and I think I called Keith Carter a tattletale, which if looking back, I would have used different verbiage. But I walked in, I was like, you're a fucking tattletale. There's no way to say tattletale in a cool way. And he's like, what'd you say? And I remember Mike Sullivan pulled me out. And then, Vrabel came in and I was like, if Spain's not playing, I'm not playing. He's like, then you're not playing. Vrabel. He's like, then you're not playing. And then we got into it. But
yeah, you guys were nose to nose. And I remember I stepped in the middle. I'm like, guys. And I got a shut the fuck up, Matt. And I said, yes, sir. And I just went back to the board.
Just got out of there.
Just got.
Cool way to say tattletale.
Look at me compared to the size of these two guys. Are you kidding me?
Guys. Shut the fuck up, Matt.
The funny thing is they end up putting Ben in at guard. And I don't think I've ever passed off games better in my entire life with somebody. Ben was incredible at guard.
God, I can't even remember the detail of that or why you guys were going nose to nose, but I do remember we won the game in overtime.
Yeah.
Or right before overtime.
Because
we were getting our ass kicked in that game. We won at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started off that game with a penalty, I think in the first series. Got mowed over one time. It was a bad start to the game, and then we started to catch a little groove.
Yeah.
But it was just turbulent times. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of Keith. And there was just a bunch of other things bubbling
Keith.
up. You like Keith?
I do.
I love that for you guys, man. I don't want to sit here and just be demonstrative about Keith because I'm sure he does have good qualities off the field, no doubt about it. But your time in Tennessee, are you running the same offense as you did in Tennessee?
No, I'd say you're ever evolving, right?
Yeah, but you're still in Quattro and
absolutely.
Yeah.
The core principles stay the same. A lot of the techniques and fundamentals that we coach are very similar. I think the philosophy around, your offensive game plan of trying to marry up plays, trying to have the passing game be an extension of the run game and vice versa. I think all that has stayed the same, but certainly you got to adapt to your personnel, number one. And I always try to see the game through the eyes of the quarterback and try to figure out what he does well, along with the other 10 men around him. So that's how you try to implement your system.
Do you remember that first OTAs in 2018? How much of a shit show it was?
Yeah, I remember we got our ass kicked. We had a bad practice. And it was doomsday around the building, and I was like, "Oh my God, I hope we never lose a game."
Because we went from just speaking from an offensive line perspective, we were running only gap scheme and only inside zone. So there was no running off the ball techniques. You guys came in and started implementing these techniques that I've never done before.
Sure.
A lot of guys had never done before. So I remember the first day, oh hey, we're gonna run 19 Wanda. I'm going towards the outside shoulder of the defensive end, and Brian Arapo just goes right inside immediately because I sprint, and he goes right inside immediately, gets a TFL. I'm thinking to myself, this is terrible. I hate this. And it ended up being, by the end of OTAs, I was like, this is the greatest offensive scheme ever.
Well, good. I'm glad you came around.
Because it really became obviously
it plays to your strengths because you're super athletic.
Yeah, and then once
a lot
you
more
figured out the
athletic
angles,
than the guy sitting next to you.
Damn, just a unnecessary.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. He's more
you do look
than
great. You look great.
Yeah.
I know you look great in that 51 in the green and
5'1"
gold.
does go hard.
Thank you.
Does go hard.
Just hurry up and get some positivity.
Yeah, but I love that offense. I love it. The Wanda, all of it.
Yeah.
The sprinting off the ball, the cutoffs, like it became my favorite thing.
But everything has to tie in together. The back's path with the O-line,
Yeah.
the quarterback, everybody has a responsibility. You know, we're going to demand that the wide receivers block. And I think that's one thing that I'm really proud of with our group is they're going to go battle. They're going to fight their ass off on every play. And I don't think you see that, from every team around the league.
Can you, when we were talking to Josh last night, he also brought up a conversation he had with Malik Willis, but it seems like a constant when you talk to your players is how to teach the game. How did that start to develop for you when you are like delivering the ins and outs of a play? Because I feel like every player talks about how well you coach the game and teach like the game within the game to where the guys understand it. Because Malik Willis, like what was that, early in the season, week 3 or 4, he just showed up. And you guys pulling off an upset?
Well,
yeah, you guys got him.
He started week 2 versus Indy, and he had been here, I think, 19 days.
Yeah.
To that point before he started a game, and now we didn't try to put too much on his plate. I mean, you can't when a guy's been here for 3 weeks, and so we leaned on our run game heavily, and we had the first half was we were killing it rushing the football. We had over 200 yards rushing in the first half, but kind of slowed down after that quite a bit, but he made some big time plays late in the game that allowed us to win that game. And then the next week it was the Malik Willis revenge tour going down to Tennessee. And,
I bet so much money on the Titans that game.
Did you?
Yeah, I did because
I felt pretty confident going into that game.
Did you really?
I did.
See, Malik, like I had the chance to play with Malik for a little bit.
Sure.
And the thing that I noticed was like he just wasn't grasping the playbook, and so he would do the wrong cans, or he wouldn't understand like when the safeties move. That's when you have to go the opposite way. All these different.
What
things.
year was that though? For Malik?
This is his rookie year.
Yeah,
but it was
give the guy some grace,
I know,
man.
But you just go off of what you know, right? So I was like, oh, if this kid's coming in, he busted. I mean, they ran the ball a lot against Indy. This game, they have they have all this film on him now, or at least 1 week of film. Like this is where it ends. And I thought the Titans would get going at some point, and they never got going.
That pick 6 by Jair certainly helped our cause. But
he
I remember the
so
first
well.
play of the game. Just knowing that we ran the ball 40 some odd times versus Indy, that everybody was going to be geared up for a run. So we faked a little toss and hit Jay Reed out the backside for like a 30-yard gain. It was great.
What goes
just how you draw it up.
Yeah.
His little smile as he's talking about it.
How is that the first 15? Like how often do coaches overthink the first 15 plays of the game?
Well, I know for myself that first 15 has really grown. So it's really like a first 25. Now, you never just rip it off. But what it does is, so for myself, I do this on Friday evening. Friday is actually a long day for me to kind of like really think about the plays that I absolutely want to get called, and then I get them to our players on Saturday. And I think it gives them an idea of, okay, I better be on point with these 25 plays that have a pretty good chance at some point in the game these plays are going to get called. So it takes the game plan and kind of shrinks it a little bit. And I think what we felt, it's been beneficial for our players.
With that process, are you looking at these 25 and is in your mind, are these in order? Like in a perfect world where you're playing you're calling the perfect game, the guys are doing exactly what you want them to do. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 25, like in order in your mind?
Yeah, I don't think it rarely goes like that, to be honest with you, because the first 15 or 25 or however many somebody does, those are really just non-situational plays. Those are normal ball. That's first down, 1st and 10. That's 2nd and medium to 2nd and short. It's never really 3rd down calls. It's not the red zone. It's not backed up. So you got a whole separate area for those types of plays. But yeah, I would say if you're just ripping them off the top, you're staying on schedule and you're doing pretty well.
How much is it a chess match during a game when you're calling? Essentially the game to me is like the OC versus the DC, right? And then you have all your pawns on the chessboard playing. Like how much is it? You're seeing what they're doing, you're reacting, they're reacting to you, and it's like a back and forth. It's like
I think there's a lot of that, but at the same time, it's if I got a guy that's better than your guy, there's a good chance no matter what I call, that play's going to work.
That's a fair point.
And he's got the, he's thinking it's a chess match the entire time. Like you look at his bald fade he's got going on. Yeah. He knows the camera's going to be on. He's going to be checking the scoreboard.
Let me see your bald fade. Okay.
A little something. I need to get some product in my hair.
Like a little drip, half of the size.
Little hat head.
Yeah.
Little hat head.
Have you showered today?
Last night.
Okay.
Last night. Long time day yesterday.
Well, there's been a lot of conversations about this bus about showering lately. There's a.
Ask him. After about traveling, ask him.
Are you somebody who has to shower every time you travel at the end of the day?
More than likely, yes.
Damn.
He says more than likely.
More than likely.
Good answer, coach.
He says more than likely. So last week we were in Michigan. And
Where were you at in Michigan?
Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
We were at the college for spring ball.
That's right. Watching the boys.
Yeah.
We had a workout. Like
Did he do any one-on-ones?
He kind of bowed out.
No.
He kind of bowed
That's
out.
not what happened.
'Cause there were
I
plenty of
may or may
opportunities
not have
to-
seen a one-on-one rep at the University of Oregon.
Can you break that down if you're a coach scouting that?
There is nothing to break down. Those
Well, I mean,
Kid's got
other
no
than his
chance.
ankles, he definitely got his ankles broke.
knees.
Knees and ankles.
See, the problem for me was just like, you at the very least make a reaction, like guess. Even if you guess wrong.
Well, we
like, give me
talked
something to
about this.
cover.
He
he was
told me
telling
he
me.
knew he was going to take away the inside.
You guys had this
It's just-
conversation?
yeah.
When we were setting up the interview, he
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, I saw that one-on-one rep." And we were laughing about it. He's like, "Why don't you just guess to the inside?" I was like, "I'm telling you, bro. That's what I was telling the boys right before. I'm like, the cameras are going to be on." I'm talking to JP, saying there, I'm like, cameras are going to be on. This kid's going to want to cross my face. He's going to want to
That's
be
where
on
the big
theatrical.
play is,
That's where the
right?
big- yeah.
Come on, man. The body just didn't react.
Didn't react.
It did not
folded.
react.
I
The
man.
freeze frame of him like almost underneath, grabbing him just a little bit.
And already reacting verbally. Like, no!
It's so tough. But it is. Dude, this spring
That made
tour-
me laugh, though. You did.
I'm glad I gave you some entertainment.
It was a lot. It was very entertaining.
When we were sitting in the locker room before he did that one-on-one, I really thought like, Will's going to get him. Will's going to, I started to believe it. When he was putting the pads on.
I'm sure he was-
He's yelling
I'm
at
sure
the
he
phone
was-
turning
on.
black. I was
Yeah.
thinking.
I'm dropping quotes. I'm sniffing the smelling salts.
We had like 6 smelling salts in a bottle of water, empty bottle of water. We're just like pumping it. I'm doing it too. Just 'cause
Yeah.
I want to be a part of the vibe. He's yelling at some security guard, "Make your heart turn black!" And the guy's like, "What the fuck is going on?" We find
Put the women and children to bed.
yeah. He runs out. I'm like, this dude's about to show that he's still got it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I really thought I was
premier
that was a very
college
humbling
program.
moment, huh?
Yeah, I thought I was going to take the young buck. And I was like, man, I was telling Coach Lanning, I was like, I'd hate to end your running back's career right here. Like, he can't get beat by this 35-year-old right now.
Missouri on Missouri,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
God, it's tough to know when it's over. When you
Yeah.
look at yourself in the mirror and be like, once upon a time, I could do X, Y, and Z, but now I can't.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Omaha beef, right? You made
Yeah,
it.
okay, here we go.
Oh, you gave
Everybody loves
you
to
gave
bring up the Omaha beef.
You gave
Billings
the
Outlaws? Like, that you
Oh,
were
yeah.
going.
Hey,
That was-
he tagged my athleticism. Let's talk about when yours ended.
Well, I'm like the line from Rudy. I'm 5'0", 100 So I didn't have the same opportunities. I don't think.
All right. So you're blaming it on measurables.
I'm just saying. The
You're blaming
genetics-
God.
I'm
You're blaming
saying-
God.
I'm blaming my mom. My mom's 5'2".
Yeah, Matt's
So-
the type of guy like you're in Target and some guy comes up to you and goes, "Man, if I was your height, I'd be a pro NBA player."
Yeah.
It's like, no, you
know, he
wouldn't.
says it to everybody at practice.
He's probably thinking to himself, "Man, if I was
You know,
just
when I was
6'4".
getting recruited in college, everybody would tell me that if you were 6'2", everybody in the country would be recruiting you, and I'm like, well, I'm not. So
Were you a beast in high school? Like, were you
No,
like that?
I was
You know
not
he was a
beast.
student of the game.
I would say I was a good high school player. I mean, I was good enough to play in Division II football. I walked on at Western Michigan and realized that it was going to be a lot of years sitting there before, and if that day would ever come to get on the field. I actually was playing receiver at Western. When I was leaving, Greg Jennings was coming in. So I would have probably.
And then what was the experience like? You said people bring up the Omaha beef. Like, you were
No,
on the Omaha beef?
yeah, I was on Dan Patrick yesterday. He brought it up.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I just hit the wiki.
How long
and I
did
saw
you-
Omaha beef? Like, what is?
How long
Omaha
did you
beef?
play there?
I mean, honestly, it was. So I was a grad assistant at Central Michigan, and I can't believe they actually let me leave. Like in today's world, that never would have happened. But I got a phone call saying, "Hey, you want to come play for the summer for this indoor football team in Omaha?" And I was like, "All right, I'll check."
Receiver?
No, I was a quarterback.
Okay.
So you obviously haven't done your research on me, Will.
Yeah, that's all right. We get to learn.
But,
Curiosity.
Yeah.
It's a good pod.
So I played quarterback when I transferred from Western to Saginaw Valley. I ended up playing quarterback for 3 years there. But so I go to Omaha, and I wasn't even the starter there. I just had gone into a couple games and did pretty well, and I only played in a couple games there though. So it was a very short. Called. The next year, the Billings Outlaws called, and I went out there, and this was insane. So I went to a team who the starting quarterback was also the play caller. Well, he tore his ACL, so he couldn't play, and he had played in a game against me the year before, and I did pretty well in it, and wanted me to come out. The team I went to was undefeated, and I get there, and I throw 4 picks. And I thought I was going to get my ass kicked after the game. Everybody's looking at me. I'd been there like for 2 days, and I thought these guys were going to fuck me up. So it was a pretty intense deal. And the next week, ironically enough, we went and played in Omaha, and ended up winning like the NIFL Player of the Week.
No shit.
Yeah.
LaFleur revenge
flows, man.
Yeah. I mean, so. But
why were
I was there for 4 weeks, and I was like, I got to get out of here. It was just kind of a renegade league. There were some talented guys in that league, but there was a lot of reasons they didn't play in probably the biggest of stages.
Yeah, I mean, in Nashville, there's this team called the Nashville Cats, and they're just at Lipscomb right now training.
Yeah,
and I see like these offensive linemen that have like gray in their hair. I'm thinking, what are y'all chasing?
Yeah,
like you're.
Well, I did it. I did it for 2 summers, and I was like, all right, I'm full-time coach.
Yeah.
Why is everybody taking it so serious to where they wanted to whoop your ass when you were just there 2 days? Like, how much are you guys getting paid?
Oh, like I think I got $500. It was like $250 plus
and
a $250 win.
ACL, he's not getting rehab.
Yeah.
Incentives, yeah.
Yeah.
The quarterback, he just tore his ACL, and he just has a torn ACL with his.
He's got like a brace,
a stack of bills.
Being
like, I was just hanging on to the dream.
Hanging on to the dream.
Yeah.
But you obviously just hearing you grew up your entire life loving football.
Yeah, my dad was a coach at Central Michigan University, and so I've been around the game my whole life. And my mom's dad was a high school coach. So just grew up around football and just loved it.
Was all about it.
All about it.
God. And so when you're at like the Billings Outlaws and you're like kind of bouncing around, like you're Saginaw, you get fired from Washington, and then you had a point where you were at the Falcons, right? Quarterback coach. And then you went to Notre Dame for a year.
Well, so we get fired from Washington, and you talk about the loneliest time of your life when you have no idea what you're going to do next. And I've got 2 young kids and my wife, and but I worked for Brian Kelly at Central Michigan University, and was lucky and fortunate enough to go there. So I spent the 14th season at Notre Dame, and then Kyle in the meantime was going to go with Dan Quinn to Atlanta, and he called me up, and he was leaving Cleveland and that debacle that he had there. My brother was actually working for him, and he called me up, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to come to Atlanta." I was like, "Dude, I got a great job." I was like, "My brother's out of a job because you guys are leaving Cleveland." I said, "I'm not taking that job if he can't get a job." And he goes, "I'm going to get you both." So what a cool opportunity for me to go work with my brother in Atlanta. And the first year was a little rough because Kyle's pretty hard on his coaches in a good way, because I think it prepares you and it brings out the best in you. But he was hard on my brother, and I was probably twice as hard on my brother. So there was some rough moments in there in 2015.
Man, we're gonna wrap this episode to bring you Dude Wipes. Are you finished? Are you fumbling the ball when it comes to getting confident, clean, and you're back in your end zone? Make the right play, call an audible, and switch from dry toilet paper to wet extra large Dude Wipes. Why? It's very simple, Delanie. Wetter just cleans better. Dude wipes are wet and extra large so they clear and never smear your rear. So when you got to go number 2, be sure to bring the number 1 product in clean. Dude wipes, the goat of cleaning your keister, available on Amazon and at Walmart nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean, pants down. I took a break during this podcast. I actually took a Tuesday. Dude wipes were sitting in there. And it was a messy Tuesday too. I don't want to get too TMI on you guys, but it took a couple of dude wipes. But thank God dude wipes is there. My hiney feels fantastic right now.
It kind of feels like it kind of feels nice when your little hole's clean like that too.
Yeah.
The little breeze you kind of feel.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Yeah.
If you don't use dude wipes, what are you doing?
I agree.
Delaney didn't have a
I
mic in
agree.
his mouth, but he said, if you don't use dude wipes, what are you doing? I don't know, but I do know. We're getting back to the episode right now.
What are those? You got to have some stories with, like, whether it's a text after a game or a group chat, like these coaches that you've grown and they're all in their own head coaching roles or their coordinator roles. Like after a game, when you get one on Shanahan, McVay, your brother, there has to be some type of communication, right?
There is. I would
like,
say,
maybe just
like my brother's a guy that I'm going to talk to after every game, win or lose. But there's some games when you lose a game, it's a pretty miserable feeling, as you guys both know, because what people I don't think really can understand is how much time and effort and energy go into a 3-hour window. And like all your work is on display, and no matter how you prepared that week, whether you had the best week of preparation or the worst, all they care about is the outcome. So I think, like, it's emotional, right? When you lose a game, you're pissed off because you put so much time into it. And so there's some games when we lose, I don't want to talk to anybody, and I don't.
Has anyone
just shut it off?
Thrown you just a nice little condescending jab?
No,
like having fun, like, yeah, you thought. Like he goes in LA, beats McVay, and he just shoots McVay a message.
No,
they know they're on the bus afterwards. Hey, yeah, you thought.
Great to see you.
Yeah. Hey, you said this in the press this week?
Right.
How'd that work out?
Maybe next time, go give me the bulletin board material.
There's none of that.
You've never had an exchange like that with anybody close to you in the circle?
mean, you might have some of those conversations amongst your staff, but not.
None with the competitive.
Nah, I don't think so. It's kind of
that's
kind of bush league.
What's it like for you?
If I was a head coach and I beat you, I feel like I'd throw you something.
Yeah.
Like maybe shoot you the eyes emoji.
Yeah.
Hey, not bad, huh?
That's why. Yeah. That's what almost led to from what I heard, the Harbaugh Schwartz. Remember that interaction?
Yeah, the handshake and the slap on the back.
Yeah,
that's right. Jim, right?
Yeah. Remember when Schwartz ran him down?
Have you had an aggressive exchange post game with a coach?
I wouldn't say aggressive, but there's been some, I would say, contentious moments where,
You want to say names?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
He goes after the fans.
That was a bad deal. The pregame with a fan was a bad deal.
Yeah. What happened there? I mean, that was going around the internet.
Yeah. I would imagine it was.
Coach LaFleur's just getting after this fan.
Well, so this guy was walking, like usually there's some healthy banter sometimes with some of those guys that are holding the flag, getting ready for the national anthem. And I mean, this guy's like throat slashing our players, and I could see a bunch of our players getting worked up. And I'm like, this guy's in our space. It's different when it's coming from the stands, right? And you expect that. People are going to talk, you're in enemy territory, they're going to talk trash to you. You don't even hear that noise. It's just noise. But when you're in our space on our field and you're doing this in front of our guys and riling them up, I got a problem with that. So I said something, he said something back, and I was like, is this really happening right now as we're walking towards each other? So it was just one of those.
Are you thinking at any point I might have to swing?
I didn't know what was going to happen, to be honest with you. But I got to give the officials a lot of credit. One of the officials came in and just kind of side-checked the guy pretty good. I was pretty impressed. It should never happen. It should never happen. And like, you always reflect on what you could have done differently. I probably should have just ignored it, but heat of the battle.
Yeah. But if you're talking about, you spend a whole week preparing, getting the guys ready, you're looking through your top 25 plays, you're bringing to the guys on Saturday, you're giving a speech, now you're setting up, everyone's anxiety's through the roof. The peak anxiety is always the national anthem. You're wondering, is this the day I finally get got? Your confidence is high, low, all these different things. And then you got some guy who has the luxury of holding our nation's flag for the national anthem, and he's doing a bunch of shit. I'm sure, like, logically, it's like, you handled it fine.
Well,
like,
I appreciate that.
Hey, motherfucker, shut up. Like, obviously, you take all those things, you put
Tattletale?
Yeah, how crazy was that? Were you there for that? Did you hear that part? What? The tattletale thing?
We just talked about it.
I know, but I'm saying, were you in the room when that happened?
I can't remember that specific part.
No.
I thought we were having a moment.
No.
Hey, he said that. I was like, oh shit, we got to get him some help.
Like we didn't start the podcast.
Hey, have I told the Tattletale story?
No. CT, ESPN. No, I was sorry. I jumped to. Were you in the room when that happened? I was reflecting back on the beginning of this podcast.
I think I was focused on trying to like just get a first down at that point, and then I saw the
commotion.
Yeah,
the commotion. From a coaching standpoint, you talk about like the week and the process it takes. I feel like every year, every couple of years, there's always one game where the coaches come in the next week and they're like, I knew this was going to happen because of our lack of preparation the week before. Like, you lose a game and it's like, you could tell the boys weren't focused up. How do you work through the process when you see maybe your team isn't as focused as you'd like them to be going into a week?
Well, you try to get in front of that. If you feel it some type of way, in the moment, I'm gonna say it like, "Hey, man, we better lock in, or we're about to get our ass beat." So you try to stay in front of it. But I've also experienced when I don't think we've had the cleanest of practices, where we've gone out and had a kick-ass game, and vice versa, where we've had great practices and we go out there and lay an egg. So, you try to take it for what it is, and just hope our guys are balling on Sundays.
We were trying to get some pregame speeches out of Josh last night, but he was saying you play to your strengths well. Like, you have your words, you have your things that you hit on before the game, but then you kind of let the players say whatever they need to say. Because we were trying to be like, how's his speech game? How's his motivational speeches? He did say you spit fire after you guys win games.
All right.
He said you always got some nice bars when you come in the locker room and you say whatever you say, but he was giving you some flowers.
Okay.
We were looking for some funny moments, but we couldn't.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more serious, probably. I mean, you guys have been around me. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, but you as the head coach haven't been around it. Some guys like flip a different switch when they go from coordinator to position coach, and then one day they're.
I feel like
coach.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I feel like the NFL too. I've never really been around coaches that like get the boys hyped up. It's more like, this is a job, this is your process. Like, these are the keys to victory. Onward.
John Gruden will get your piss hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Vrabel, the coolest thing Vrabel ever did was the crystal ball.
Versace will get your piss hot. Too.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I had a high school head coach, Charlie Regal, who would literally make you run through a fucking wall with a speech. But after that, it was kind of just like, go play the game and play well.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Yeah.
Fuck, all right. I guess that's what we're doing. What was it like for you calling plays for the first time? The first time having a sheet in your hand. The game is yours. It's your chessboard.
Well, the first time, I want to say the first time I ever called plays was in the stadium.
Here?
Yeah. Sean had me. It was back in it would have been 2017 with the Rams. It was a preseason game. He's like, all right, you're calling it today. I was like, all right. And it was a fun experience. That's in the National Football League. I'd called plays, at Ashland University back in the day. Yeah. But in the National Football League, I think it was right here. And then I want to say that our year together in 2018, didn't we open up the preseason here as well?
Yeah.
So it's kind of ironic how it all comes
full circle.
Yeah. But that first year in 2018 of really, especially you get into the regular season, I realized quickly it can be a lonely world, especially when shit ain't going right. Do you remember the Baltimore Raven game when we got absolutely trashed?
Yeah, we gave up 11 sacks.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Was it 11?
It was 11 sacks.
Okay.
We gave up.
We had like 120 yards, or I don't even know. That might be generous, of total offense, and the whole stadium is booing your offense every time you go out on the field. And
it's lonely, man.
I'm like, hey, has anybody got any suggestions? And it's straight crickets on the headset. when
And you know it's tough for those guys here in the OC.
Well,
though. Anybody got
it's-
suggestions?
yeah, well, I'm just saying nothing's working. So does somebody else have a better idea? And that kind of happens naturally in games. It's funny, you know, when things are really rolling, everybody has an idea, but when things aren't going good, it's crickets.
Yeah.
So
Like, shit, I'm not putting my ass on the line right now.
Yeah. When games
That's
like
why he gets
when
paid.
games like the Ravens games aren't going well, at what point do you just say, "Hey, let's pack it in. We're going to run the ball and get out of here"?
I just don't have that mentality.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been games, especially I know here, where you're like, you know, the game is over, like, and you just don't want to get anybody hurt, so you do kind of resort to that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I also think that there's sometimes if you're getting your butt whipped and you want to get some momentum to try to get something going, maybe for the next week. So maybe the guys give the boys a little confidence.
Yeah.
Give them a little juice.
This in football, it's such a relationships driven business, but also at the end of the day, it is just a business. With your journey in coaching, what have been a couple conversations that have been the hardest to have, whether you've gotten fired and been caught off guard about it from somebody that you didn't think it would come from, or maybe you're leaving a situation and you're going into that the coach's office to tell him, or you've even let somebody go as a head coach. Like, what have been a couple of your hardest moments or conversations with somebody? Or even, again, you might be on the receiving end. But I would love to know, because we have a head coach on, and I'm always curious, because you know how it is, like when you get cut and you might be blindsided.
Well, I don't know. I never played in the National
But I'm saying
Football
getting fired,
League. So
like
how is it?
it's like getting fired.
Yeah, it
right?
is,
Like
totally.
everybody gets fired. So, and sometimes it comes out of nowhere, or sometimes you're having a conversation with somebody, whether you're getting benched and it comes out of nowhere, and you feel a little slighted and bitter because of the relationship you feel like you have, and it's hard to compartmentalize and separate the business from the relationship at times. But I would love to know, as a head coach, and knowing that you've been in a lot of different spots, and with friends too.
Yeah, and that's the danger, is when you go through something together, especially something hard together, you form a bond with somebody, and then at some point that comes to an end for all players, and for me, when I have to let go of coaches, that guys that have poured everything into it, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, and that it's always the danger of hiring people that are close to you as well. I mean, this well known. I let Joe Barry go, who's a very dear friend of mine, and that was like one of the toughest conversations I've ever had with somebody. So,
how do you even prepare for that? Like, it's like
you can't.
Jason's sitting here, and it's like he could give you any.
You can't prepare for it. You just. That's why you just got to tell people the truth, and whatever happens, happens. But at least your truth, how you see it, and that's why I just think you got to be honest with people. And it happens with players. When you have, especially veteran players, you maybe aren't performing to the level that you feel like they should be performing at, and you're going to make a change and set them down. And I mean, those are tough conversations, but conversations that you absolutely have to have, that you can't avoid.
Has any conversation went sideways? You don't have to say names, but is there an example?
Sideways?
Yeah, where a conversation, yeah.
There's been a few.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude standing up, getting in your face a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I've had a player a couple years back. It was just him and I, and this is before we had we renovated our offices, and we're in a different spot of the stadium now. But I mean, we're in this cinder block room, and I thought he was going to whip my ass, and there was nobody around. So I was just like, "Oh, well, here it goes, guys. This is the end.
This is it.
This is it."
It's like, hey,
and you
we're
just
letting
you
go, and they're
try
just
to
like,
de-escalate the situation, but sometimes there's no getting through, and it was one of those situations. So, but I'm still here today, so I live to tell about it.
still pretty.
Did he put his hands on you, or just get up in your face?
No, it was. I thought it might go down, but it didn't.
Does it get there because he's like, you
He probably
say,
got blindsided. He
yeah,
didn't know
like,
he was
hey,
getting cut.
we're gonna
No.
move on, or we're letting you go, and he's just like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
Show me
no,
why.
It definitely. I would say everyone's a little bit different, but yeah, there's you just the one thing I've learned, the more you can take emotion out of any conflict, and you can use this in your personal lives as well. Like I know with my wife, the more I can take the emotion out of it, usually the better the conversation goes.
Yeah, that is good advice.
Yeah.
But sometimes they want the emotion. They're like, hey, what are you feeling?
Well, so maybe you want the emotion.
Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Something you want to talk about?
I guess I'm feeling shame.
Why?
I'm just trying to think of the words, the 7 words of feelings, 7 emotions that you can feel.
Yeah.
Where the therapist tries to dial you in. You know, they're like, oh, confusion. That's not a feeling. That's a thought.
I hate that.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting cut's not fun. How many times were you cut?
Practice squad, Titans, Raiders. It's 3.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I think because
3
you were
times.
almost on every team. I feel like it was more.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
He was almost a Green Bay Packer.
bro. I know.
Was he actually almost a Green Bay
No.
Packer?
So you guys just
Does
laugh
his
about
name ever
that?
get brought up? His name ever get brought up in a meeting room?
Yeah, we talked about him.
Man, it was LaFleur's first year.
I had no stroke.
Yeah,
there.
he couldn't swing the bat, but he wanted to. I don't know how much it happened, but I think you're wanting to like you were saying. This is when I ended up going to the Saints in Oakland that year. But he wanted to go into a meeting and I think pitch a few veterans. It was like myself, I think Chris Thompson, if I can remember correctly. And
It's amazing what people do remember, though.
right? Well, because I wanted to.
And sometimes they remember a little bit different than you remember.
Oh, yeah.
But
you
it's
don't remember it
amazing.
that way.
Wow, I mean, that was a long time ago.
I'm just probably on text messages.
That's Matt's way of saying no, he does not remember it that way.
Well, he can even say like, I mean, he already said like it wasn't close. Like even when I was going and worked out with the Saints and ended up signing with the Saints because KO was here, like it was
Yeah.
a setup that was, it would have been lovely for the boy. And
It would have been great. I would have
Saints
enjoyed
came
it.
in
locker room
Because
guy.
I know he's about the right stuff.
I appreciate that.
That's
Finally
that
some
seems
love.
like the Will Compton. Like every coach you talk to that's been come across Will Compton is like that is the guy. About
Well,
the
I
right
mean, because
stuff.
otherwise he wouldn't have lasted as long as he lasted. If you wouldn't have been about the
that's
right
a tough
stuff.
backhanded compliment, but it also
No, he's right though.
But that's hey,
yeah,
sorry.
it's like something
I
I'm
told
proud
you
of.
earlier. Sometimes you just got to go with the truth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's something I'm proud of. That's, I don't.
You should
It
be
doesn't
proud
feel
of
like
it.
a backhanded compliment.
Okay.
you
It
should
doesn't
be
feel
proud
like
of
that.
it.
Yeah.
Played a long time in this league. Was it almost 10?
Almost 10. Almost 10.
Some argue 8.
Vrabel argues 8 because he doesn't give me the practice squad. Or he says the first year was a practice squad year. I was like, bro, the last game of the season. This was in 13.
Yeah.
When we were at New York. It was London Fletcher's last game. I got to back up London Fletcher for his final game of all time. But that's when I was on the active roster for one game. Recorded one stat, got one tackle on kickoff. So I am in the books for that rookie year. Now, if you go by the credited and everything else, like, yeah, I mean.
I got to give it to a practice squad. To me, that counts. I'm counting it.
Count it.
He schemed me
yeah.
up all the time with Jordan Reed. It was brutal.
So wait, does it actually in the real world? Does that you got the credited season though, right?
So since I'm vested, they count your practice squad year.
Okay.
I bet
Because you know, I don't want to. Will and I got into a whole thing. I was making a joke one time about 8. Things got a little fiery, and he's
we
like,
started
he basically
wrestling.
did all the things he just said to you, but in a very demonstrative way. Understandably, I was trying to poke the bear a little bit.
Sure.
But right then and there, I was like, I don't know if. So does it actually count? It does.
So
count.
the moment you get vested, like it wasn't
Vested is
counting
4
until-
years?
Yeah, once you get 4 years, then they go back and count one practice squad year. So
Hmm.
say I had 2 practice squad years. Like Lorenzo Alexander was somebody, he played like 14 years and he started off 2 practice squad years.
Yeah, he's
they
got a
only
cool
give
story.
you
they only give credit for
yeah,
one.
they only give you credit for one.
Mhm. Have you ever been in a situation like kind of like Will was in, where coaches are kind of being like, I need to get this guy 3 games to get him a credited season? Have you ever had a relationship with your guy where you're like, all right, we'll get him dialed, or we'll give him a shot. We'll see if we can make it work for 3 weeks.
Not too many.
No, but it's come across once in a while.
That's how it was with Bisaccia.
But we'll never, we're always going to do what's best for the team. So
Yeah, as you should. from a worker.
I mean, I love
Try and
everybody.
No,
but-
I know. Yeah, it's like even when we were trying to get year 10 to happen, it was like I was telling Art, "Hey, you just give me 3 weeks, and I get this credit season." But how I was going to finish his thing off, how I wasn't close to becoming a Packer. Like even when the Saints came in the hotel room and they gave me the contract to sign and had me mulled over for that night, because I remember being on the phone with you too. Called my wife, called you guys. I low key, I was like kind of struggling if I even wanted to do it. But I remember calling LaFleur.
Yeah, we
like,
had
"Bro,
some conversations.
I swear to God, I will get on a plane right now and go to Green Bay and play for you guys if I can get an offer, if we can get an offer on the table, or if you can do anything like seeing.
I think I was straight up with you. Wouldn't I?
You were. You're like, man, it's not going to happen. You need to go ahead and take that. Like, there's just not a whole lot that I'm able to do. But yeah, I was wanting to. I was trying hard to get
Number 51. What could have been?
Did he hit you with that conversation like immediately? Like when he called you, did you know
How'd
it
you
was
get my
coming,
new
or was he?
Yeah, I mean,
blindsided?
we were in communication.
Yeah,
You texted
throughout
back
training
and forth
camp,
a
like,
little bit.
hey, you in shape?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you didn't blindside him with the conversation. That was just
No,
quick
yeah,
little-
yeah. Like I think we got on the phone and we were again, are you in shape and stuff like that? He might have wanted to pitch a few veterans in a meeting that was coming up, and then I would check in either through him or
Yeah.
KO and be like, hey, what's the skinny? And KO would be like, man, I don't even go out to the workouts. And then when the Saints thing happened, I was like, are you sure nothing can shape up with the Green Bay Packers? He's like, nah, man.
It would have been fun.
I kind of
Yeah.
selfishly want you, but yeah, it's not working out. It would have been fun.
Talk to me about your process of getting this job. Because I don't know how much you want to talk about what we were talking about before the podcast started. 2018, you were with the Titans.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, you're with the Packers. And it was like, I remember myself thinking like, damn, I was bummed out that you were gone. I ended up being happy because Art's my boy too.
Art. Yeah,
But, like, I didn't
Vrabel's
know
made
what
a
I
great
know.
decision in promoting Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where I got a call after the season. If you remember right, we had a play-in game to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
And
against the Colts.
unfortunately, against the Colts, it didn't go our way. But I got a call that I was going to interview for this job, and I knew I was the last interview. And I was like, all right, well, shoot, I got nothing to lose. And I'm pretty hard on myself anyways. And I went through the interview process. Matter of fact, the Packers flew up to Nashville. I had the interview at a hotel in Nashville. And I called my wife right after, and she's like, well, how'd it go? And I was like, I think it went pretty well. And she says that's the moment she thought like, oh no, here we go. The next day I get a phone call from Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, that's interesting. And I was actually thinking that it would lead to the second round of interviews, being that I'd never really been up here. But they called me later that afternoon and offered me the job. And it was a pretty unbelievable moment in my life, one that I'll never forget.
What was that conversation like with Aaron Rodgers? Like, did you have his number saved in your phone, or did it just come up like a random number?
No,
Like, who's this?
they had given me a heads up that Aaron was probably going to be calling me at some point. He called me. We talked for like, I don't know, 40 minutes or whatever. And it was a great conversation. Obviously it went well enough where I'm sure he reported back and said that we had a great conversation, and the rest is history.
How was that process like, the conversation with the Titans, like when you're interviewing or looking to take on a different job?
Oh, it was pretty easy. I'm saying, hey guys, I'm leaving to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. I think everybody understood that. So, yeah, it was a very easy conversation. And I'm sure there were some people in that building that were glad that I was leaving too.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
God, I wish we could dive into that more.
What?
The coaches, like that inside ball of the Titans and all that stuff that went down.
Yeah, it's like the bureaucracies everywhere, right? Like everybody, there's going to be haters on the inside. The little, I always loved how Vrabel would say it's loser talk. You get guys get into their cliques, losers start talking about the negative, yada yada yada. But I feel like that's like
You know what my favorite time with the Titans was?
What's that?
Was when Will Compton did Mike Vrabel in the team meeting.
How elite.
That was
It was so spot on.
It was unbelievable.
And it couldn't have come at a perfect time because
And I want to know who recorded that.
Darren Bates.
Oh,
Was it Bates?
I think it was Batesy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was DB. Arakpo had a
Because
recording.
usually that is kind of
A rack
you don't
recorded it.
you don't film those
Right.
types of meetings.
Yeah.
But I think we knew going into it. I think Rack or DB or somebody was saying how they were going to get it recorded.
Yeah,
Because I was nervous. Wesley,
you were nervous for that?
Yeah, because Wesley Woodyard was kind of being like, I don't know if you should do it. Like guys could get like cut over stuff like this. Like I guess he had an experience maybe in Denver to where somebody might have did something for the rookie.
Yeah,
show.
I didn't think it was disrespectful in any way.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so either.
When
I'm just saying when you're about to do it, it's like you have the culture building that Vrabel was doing. He did a great job of like separating the, being a player's guy, but also a coach and making sure things ran strict and smooth to where, he was tight. Like he was a hard ass at times, especially in training camp.
For sure.
So that's kind of where the nerves are coming from. Like, man, I hope, he takes this
And-
lands.
I
Anybody knew Mike
actually
at this
find it when we have a rookie skit, if they don't clown on me a little bit, I'm usually disappointed.
Yeah, you're thinking, what have I been doing to not make these guys feel comfortable enough to joke on me?
Yeah. So I think you go into it with that mindset. You can't be sensitive.
It was a good time though. We had some good laughs.
That was
it
epic.
was awesome. But understanding your nerves for sure too, because like 2018, Mike Vrabel was a different cat.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of just trying to figure him out. And after practice, practices were hard. He was hard on us. Those team meetings, buttholes are tight. Every single camp practice.
That was the one year, and I've talked about it before, but that was the one year where a lot of the times I was not looking forward to driving into work. Like I would wake up and not have the mentality I had. I was just watching before that, but not have I'd be like dreading going into work.
Really?
Dreading going into whatever the team meeting, whatever he was going to do in the team meeting. And if you lost, it just felt like the world was crumbling.
And usually, just in a lot of our experiences in the National Football League, you flip that script because you got to get on to the next week. You try to give the lessons and you try to learn from it, and then you're on to the next opponent. But yeah, I do remember those lingering a little bit.
Yeah. That was one year that those moments were seeping in because I remember I come and sit next to the locker and Derek Morgan was next to mine. I bet. Man, I fucking hate this shit sometimes, bro. And we'd just be laughing, kind of like bonding over the embracing the suck.
I remember a few team meetings where I said the same thing.
Nervous, hoping all the team keys, everything. Because 18 was kind of a shit show. 19 is when like he showed like being a little more easier. When we lose, it wasn't so tough. I think 2020 was his best year.
2020
was a totally different Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, it was way different.
Where you could just tell he was kind of like finding his footing as a head coach, understanding the process. And
I will say it takes some time.
Yeah.
It definitely takes some time. I would say if you asked, we don't have too many guys that were here in 2019 when I got hired, but we got Kenny Clark, Elton Jenkins. I would bet if you asked those guys, they would tell you I'm a lot different then than I am now.
Do you go through a process after your first season as a head coach and like evaluate how you handled certain
100%.
situations?
Yeah, you're always. I think that's part of it. If you want to be the best you can be, is sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Oh man, I did not handle that situation well," and be real about it. So I think you're constantly evaluating, constantly evolving. In order to be your best.
How does the evaluation look though? Because it's like you can look in the mirror and be like, I could have handled that better, but sometimes you don't know what your blind spots are unless you're asking people close to you. And it's like, man, I need you to be transparent.
You got to have truth tellers, and sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. And I've got a couple guys on my staff that will, a guy like Daryl Franklin who will sometimes tell me the shit that I don't want to hear. And sometimes I might get pissed off about it, but he keeps coming back to me. And he's resilient in that regard. Joe McKillop's another guy. Like, you got to have guys around you that will feed you the hard truth. And, you just, sometimes you got to accept it.
Since being a head coach, what do you feel like's been looking back, like, what do you feel like's been your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been too many biggest challenges. I mean, we've navigated through some
what's
tough
one
times.
That's true. What's one I guess those tough times I was going to ask, what's one that's been surprising that you're like, oh, this is a challenge I wasn't even thinking about or had the forethought for it?
I mean, I feel like there's stuff that comes up almost it comes up every so often where you just get caught off guard. Where whether it's guys are upset about, playing time or production, whatever it may be, that you're like, wow, that came out of left field, that you have to handle in the moment. But to sit here and pinpoint and say just one, I think it's tough to do, because whether it's coaches, players, you're just dealing with so many people. I think that's what separates our game from most of these other sports, is when you think about it, you've got, especially off season, you got a 90-man roster. We've got, like, I don't even know how many coaches we have now. It's like 25 coaches, and you're dealing with, athletic training staff, strength staff, your scouting department. You're just dealing with a lot of people that naturally shit happens and stuff comes up that you can't possibly prepare for.
With the draft being in Green Bay, what is different about this draft for you guys compared to other drafts? Because
I would say all this media stuff that we're doing.
Yeah.
This is a fun one, right?
Yeah, this is
This is a fun one, right?
Yeah,
Sure, this is your favorite one.
absolutely.
Is there
Keep telling yourself that, Will.
there was some media saying that, like, people talk about the draft and how, this is not the strongest draft in the world, and a lot of these guys in the 20s are trying to maybe trade out of it and stuff like that. Is there ever like a pressure from the NFL for the team that, if since the draft is in Green Bay, it's like, hey, we need to make sure you guys have a first round draft pick? Is there ever that?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think we'd operate that way anyways. We're always going to do what's best for the Packers, and whether you got a first round pick or not. But I think there's a ton of good players in this draft, and who really knows? I mean, I'll tell you.
Isn't that weird?
I'll tell you, in 2 or 3 years, yeah, there's some guys that are going to come in this league and have instant success. But you guys know, you've been through it. I'm sure you're a lot different player your rookie year as you were 3 years into it. So, you got to give these guys an opportunity to go out there and perform.
What's your best war room story?
War room story?
Yeah, day of the draft.
Oh, man, you're trying to put me on the spot, Will.
Well, I feel like you got something that probably just jump out at you in your mind.
I mean,
you just remember, and you'll always remember, like, man, that moment kind of changed X, Y, and Z, or this guy was right here when I was saying something different, or I was right here when they were saying something different.
I would say there's some moments where, hey, we're going to draft this guy, and you're like, no, I don't want that guy. And there's some back and forth, and hopefully you can come to a consensus conclusion on it. And but ultimately, I'll tell you this. I can tell you that we've drafted players that I haven't been really excited about, that 2 years down the line I was ecstatic about, and I'd be like, man,
can you drop names? Because to me that's a compliment. It's like you're fired up now. It's like, yo, I was wrong.
I don't want to do that.
Damn.
I
feel like if say I was drafted, you're like, I'm not excited.
Give you a name, and I'll never forget this. So we were in LA, and we drafted Cooper Kupp, and I thought we needed a speed receiver, and it didn't take long before I realized, I was like, God damn, I'm glad we got Cooper Kupp, because he was a baller. So, and I know that makes me look like an idiot, because how couldn't you see that Cooper Kupp was going to be what he's become?
But a white kid out of Eastern Washington, like,
I know,
LaFleur was saying that too, like, hey,
like, he's playing like
we need
AA, whatever that is. On
we
a
need
red football
speed.
Field. Yeah,
not a white guy. Where did he go?
Eastern Michigan,
Eastern
Washington.
Washington.
We went and worked him out.
Michael Ruse went,
and he's been balling ever since. He came in the league his first year and was balling, and he would have crossed you over just like that kid at Oregon did.
Damn,
on that choice.
LaFleur came with some heat today. Son of a bitch, man.
With like you talk about Cooper Kupp, like he's known as like a worker. Who are some of the best workers you've been around, like from player standpoint?
Best workers?
Like the best workers, you're like, this guy, no matter what he's going to be, he's just a grinder.
Well, it's easiest if I talk about some of the guys from our team right now. Like a guy like Tucker Kraft coming in, and just to watch him work on a daily basis. I mean, he's here even when the players don't need to be here in the off season, and he's in there every day just grinding away. And
he had a hell of a year too.
He did. And I think he's going to get better and better and better because of what you mentioned, just his work ethic and how he approaches the game. I love his mindset. But there's I mean, you guys, I would say you guys were great workers. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think I was a hard worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both you guys, watching you guys work, was impressive.
Thank you.
It was nice. Get insulted, but then all of a sudden comes back.
He knows what
and
he's
makes a
doing.
compliment.
Comes
He knows
back
what he's
around.
doing. Comes back around.
He's treating me like a lady. He's like being mean to me and wants me to get a
Yeah,
little closer.
the game.
He's like, hey, you do a good job too.
Yeah, it's Dan Lanning's the game.
He's playing hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's playing
That's
chess
awesome.
right now.
You got anything else? Do you want to do the Bud Light question?
Yeah, we can do the Bud Light question.
Go ahead.
Our Bud Light question brought to us by Bud Light. You, Coach LaFleur, you know people would do anything for a Bud Light. What would you do anything for?
You want funny or serious?
If you have one of each, then we'll go ahead and take
what
both.
would I do anything for? I would definitely. I know you guys said this earlier, but I would definitely do anything for my family. So
Oh, I forgot to give the insurance policy.
I know.
I forgot to give the insurance. No family.
no family.
Can't do family.
Why?
Because
Taylor likes
I have
taking
2
away
kids,
family.
You've got kids. Will's got kids.
Yeah,
There's
you would
nothing
do
we
anything
wouldn't
for
do
your
a wife and
family.
kids.
I'll
Nothing.
tell you what I did for my family one time. So Milwaukee Bucks, right? They win the NBA championship, and my wife and I were celebrating at the arena and having champagne and with a bunch of people from the Bucks. And I was thinking after the game, so we were staying in Milwaukee. I'll just get an Uber and go back to the hotel or whatever. And I didn't realize they kind of like what they've done here for the draft, where they just close off a bunch of streets. So it was really hard to get an Uber. You couldn't get anything close to the arena. So we had to take a walk, and we're walking down by all these bars in Milwaukee, across Water Street, and we're walking along, and all of a sudden we hear pop, 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 pop. And it was gunfire going off. And I immediately, initial reaction is you just start taking off. And I look behind me, and my wife's in heels. And I'm like, let's go. She's like, I can't run. I'm in heels. So I literally fireman carrier, put her up on my shoulders, run across the street, around a corner, about 2-3 blocks to get her out of harm's way. So
Fucking Superman out here.
Laying it on the line.
That's a nice move.
that's adrenaline. That was
Yeah.
a lot of adrenaline right there.
I thought you were going to keep on running based on the way the story was going.
Yeah.
Well, I
my wife's
ran
not
right
there.
up to some police officers and may or may not have name dropped and said, "Hey, can you help me get back to my hotel?" And they got us there. So, but in the process of that, as I was scooping her up, there was a railing that separated the sidewalk from the bars. May have skimmed her eye across that railing a little bit. And as I'm running with her, she's telling me to set her down. I'm like, hell no, we're getting out of here.
That is
So, but yeah, outside of that, I mean, I would do anything for a Super Bowl ring.
You know what we have to ask you now.
I know it's coming.
So Mike Vrabel
Yes.
said he would cut off his penis for a Super Bowl. Talked about how long he was married, kids, the whole thing. He won 3 as a player. He made sure to mention that, and then said he would do it for a Super Bowl as a coach. Would you cut your dick off for a Super Bowl?
I don't think I can go that far, guys. Sorry.
It's fair. That's fair and logical. Like
I thought for sure you were ready to say, yeah, you're like, I would do anything for a Super Bowl. And
I would
Taylor's
do anything
like, you know what's coming.
except
He's
for
like, yeah.
that.
yeah, he's like, yeah. Yeah, I do know what's coming. And the answer is no.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys to get over the hump?
That's a great question. That's something that I've obviously been thinking about for 6 years now in my time because we've gotten close.
Yeah.
I just think like when you get to the NFL playoffs, it is Sean McVay and I talk about this all the time. It's March Madness. So it takes you playing your best in the moment and you got to make the plays. And certainly there's always things as you can do as a coach that could be better, but you need everybody clicking on all cylinders because we've been right there. Shoot, we hosted an NFC championship game in Lambeau. Unfortunately, it was the year that it was the COVID year and you don't get to take advantage of that home field crowd. So I just think we need everybody to perform in those tough moments because when you get to that stage, it's the margins are razor thin, so you have to be at your best. That's what it takes.
Yeah, and the health of your players.
Oh yeah, and we were healthy the majority of that season.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention your division is just scary good.
Yeah, it's a pretty competitive division right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vikings, Lions, Bears now.
It's like a Wizard of Oz story, man. Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Do you have beef with Coach Johnson?
I was waiting for this. I don't know Ben Johnson.
So do you have beef?
Do I have beef? I don't know Ben Johnson. I respect him as a football coach. I think he did a nice job.
Yeah, but do we not feeling the same thing right now?
Yeah, well, yeah.
But if you don't know him, why is it tight in here?
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
I guess I'm just tight.
Yeah.
My fault. My fault.
I thought it was interesting.
What was interesting?
I thought the press conference was interesting, but I don't have beef with him. I don't get it all into that stuff. I thought it was.
But you'll harness it.
He'll see the eye emojis after a win. You'll send.
I don't have his number, so that won't happen.
You gonna Jim Harbaugh him after a game?
No,
You beat him?
I would never do that.
Do you have the strength to do that?
I don't know. Probably not. Apparently not. Apparently not.
No, I'd never do that. Do you?
Wait, you think am I not strong enough for you, Will?
I know you're not. Man. And you tore your pec.
I did.
How's
a year
that going?
ago. It's a lot better now.
Can you?
A year ago, I flew back on draft day after getting surgery.
No shit.
Yeah.
How'd you tear your pec?
Yeah, bench pressing.
How much was on the rack?
315.
Be honest, man.
Huh? How much you think, Will?
135?
No, it was not 135.
185.
A little more.
200.
205.
205.
Okay.
It was 195.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know,
All right.
you know he hit 195 and then put the 2.5s on just to get 200.
Yeah.
He had the camera set up just
Right.
to prove that
In all
he could get
seriousness,
200.
it was 185.
It was 185.
Yeah. And I was just repping it out last set, last rep. And you just, how sometimes you just try to like throw it up there. Well, I got a little careless with my form, and sure enough.
Are you by yourself?
No, I was in our weight room, and our strength coach was right there. Thank God. Because one side went up and the other side went right on my chest.
God.
Did
It
you
was
have
all
any
bad.
shoulder pain or chest pain?
No.
Did it ever feel tight or just
No.
happen?
Just
so
happened.
That's terrifying. To
You
me.
know, I'll never do it again.
Well, I will never barbell bench ever again in my life. I will dumbbell bench, never barbell. So I would tell you, how old are you now?
35.
Yeah, I would. If I was you, I would never barbell bench.
I don't have a barbell in the garage.
Well,
I mean,
there you
you're
go.
right, though. It's like we bench press more so for ego than anything else.
Yeah.
That sucks, though. Did your chest like cave in? Like, did it?
Oh
just-
yeah, you could. I had a big. I mean, it was. I had to go. I tore both tendons.
And you know,
So-
you're just thinking,
Was it,
fuck
like,
me, dude.
Went in.
Oh yeah, you could feel it. I could feel it like when it happened
No
in the
shit.
moment. Yeah. So I went to Dr. Cardasco in New York and had surgery, and it was not a good time.
Such a pain in the ass.
But
to
he did a
rehab
great
that.
job. If you ever tear your pec, go see Dr. Cardasco.
That's the guy.
He's the guy.
That's the guy to go to. Coach, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks
man.
for coming. I know it's a busy
Absolutely.
day. So thank you for making the
Love
time to come
Jabs.
out here.
We'll talk more after the podcast. No, but you're the best, and good luck this season.
I appreciate
good
it,
luck in
guys.
the draft.
Thank you.
Hope you get whoever you want.
So do I.
Hey, who do you hope you get? This isn't coming out till next Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who do you hope you get?
A really good player.
What position?
What if we do this? What if we do this? You call a shot right now, and if it doesn't hit, we don't put it in the podcast. But if it hits, it's like, oh shit, Matt called his shot.
I really. Yeah. He would. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of good players, like I said. So whoever we get,
All right.
we're gonna embrace and we're gonna coach them.
I love that.
All right.
Hell of a coach. Can't wait to see you guys win it all. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Please subscribe, rate 5 stars. Matt LaFleur. Packers, go Pack Go.
Thank you. All right, guys.